Bind yet. So kind of curious if that's something that Gen.G is going to lean into. They were able to get over DRX. It was an overtime, a map that DRX has widely been very good on Bind. You know, talked about it yesterday where obviously DRX beat Fnatic on Bind at Champs last year. Again, slightly different roster, but it is what it is. So my eyes are really on what does Gen.G not want to play? Sunset. This makes total sense to me.
Oh, yeah.
Paper X is just too good on this map right now. They've got so much control with that Sage Wall. I don't think they were able to dial up an answer in time.
Yeah, they were really busy this kickoff, I would say.
Just a bit.
They didn't have much time to pluck that map apart.
All these Gecko plays coming through, and it happens on Ascent as well. So interestingly enough, Gen.G picks it against Paper X because that was the map that Paper X had a slightly better time against T1 on. With Forsaken and Fade and his Odin.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. 13-6, a little bit.
I mean, it's interesting. Both teams kind of maybe leading into the maps I didn't expect initially. So Gen.G goes forward. They lost to Paper X on this the first time around. What have they been able to figure out? I mean, they do look a lot better on this map, especially with Meteor and Munchkin lurking around the map have been an absolute nightmare for other teams to deal with recently.
All right, and then leaving Breeze for the last one. Bind. Paper X hasn't shown their Bind in the longest time, but we also did see how Gen.G counters DRX's Yoru pick on Bind, which again is something that Paper X could do, but then again, you never know. Last year they suddenly picked out Arena, so
I think we might see ISO up there.
Oh, ISO!
Look, there's like 4 agents Forsaken hasn't played yet.
Deadlock,
Deadlock, ISO, Sage. So far this, the last couple of seasons.
Gotta collect them all.
Yeah, exactly. He's busy making his Pokedex full.
Here we go into Ascent.
Yeah.
Classic compositions.
Yep.
Paper X playing the same thing that they did yesterday against T1. Now, the thing about this composition for Paper X, though, is that we need every single player to pop off, right? And while Monyet did have some great entries, stats-wise, it wasn't quite up there with the rest of the team, but again, it doesn't really matter if Something and Monyet are working in tandem to secure a lot of these sites. It's just I'm more worried about what Gen.G has prepared, because the way that they played Ascent against Zeta Division shows that they absolutely knew how to play defense.
Yeah, and I think you're going to have a little bit more ability to adjust to the fast-paced Paper X comp with the KO in there to shut things down.
Well, the Tiger Nation is facing off the Rexes, facing once again to close out the Pacific kickoffs. Taking us through the action is Achilleos and William.
Thank you very much. Yes, here we are, another grand final, but this time a very different face on the other side of the arena. Paper X punching a ticket, as expected by a lot of us, to get to this point, to go to Madrid. But it's not DRX on the other side of the arena. It is a different Korean squad, Gen.G, the young up-and-coming challengers, to see if they can take away the throne.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, not entirely unfamiliar faces, right? We've got head coach Solo and Lockie on that side. They have succeeded in D3 and DRX before, but this squad, a lot of people thought they're going to need a lot more time. Of course, the talent is there, but they're going to need to grow into it. They say, no, we want to get all the experience we can in kickoff and go right into Madrid with a strong force. And today, I mean, last time they matched up in Group C, it was a 2-1 map score, so it could go either way.
It very well could. I mean, you're talking about getting experience. Gen.G have been getting the maximum amount of experience, maximum maps, maximum matches to get to this point. Their ticket to Madrid is punched, but they want to go away as champions. They want to come back into stage 1 with higher expectations, with a trophy on their backs. Let's see if they're going to be able to earn it. Start things off nicely with a map win here on Ascent.
And of course, the Deaths touch upon it, but the composition's no changes here from what they last showed. Paper X having their own interpretation around this Viper composition, and they have used it quite a bit to great success against T1. So we'll see if Gen.G has studied all the tape. Another difference, of course, Paper X, when they went up against T1, it was against Execurate's Cypher. And it did prove some trouble for Monyet's Raze, whereas he was kind of getting caught off guard a lot on the entry. It was really the follow-up trades that worked. This time, a little bit more familiarity with the Killjoy setups now on the A site. Looking to just delay that, looking for a retake for Gen.G on A.
All right, well, something starting things off hot. Ghost in hand, takes down Texture. That tip of the spear taken out. Meteor as well being tracked over in towards main. The door is going to be broken down. The turret offering up a bit of damage there. Meteor, the classic, swinging out, doesn't manage to find a buy, but a quick peek from Forsaken gets the one tap. Meteor goes down, and something finds the second kills. Munchkin will fall.
A bit of a timing mismatch there. I mean, Meteor, he did his best to hold on to main and even popped the Nanoswarm before he went off. As you see, a lot of damage, still quite doable here for Gen.G considering the health.
Karon just having to back away. Rotate back around Bagi. And an ever so familiar back gen position this time. No rifle in hand, can't get the win. Will get taken down. Just going to be Bagi, the only one here dead on the side of Paper Rex as they take the pistol round.
Now, a lot of this, of course, is Paper X just knowing when to keep up the tempo. As soon as they get that contact, they understand that it has to be weak. They got the first kill. They want to push through. I mean, you know it's the Jet peeking out. Then you catch sight of the killjoy. You just want to run through and make sure you destroy everything before backup arrives. So it's a matter of Gen.G just maybe not expecting the entire force to follow at full tempo speed, full running all the way up mid.
No cheeky force buys coming in. As kalian, trying to just go for a bit of a tempo TP up. Try to catch somebody off guard, but they swing the corner instantly and he is taken down.
Yeah, we got to keep in mind that this screen right now is really set up to try to disrupt mid. So Gen.G trying to wonder if that was the case. No, it's a fast push into A.
Prowler in, Rocket gone, Texture having to dash back.
Langsung saja merapat
Shots
di
through,
ya guys.
pulling his attention.
Jangan lupa like dan juga subscribe.
Picks up a 3K.
Let's
Looking
go,
now for
guys.
potentially the 4 as Meteor goes down to 15 HP. Jump shot to get him in the head. A 4K for Monyet, and I gotta say, this is the hottest start that we've seen from him thus far.
Yes, I mean, we saw it in the win contribution graph as well. Monyet not really being a big part of the round wins that Paper X has gotten. That's not to say that he's not necessarily playing his role. We see whenever he's playing this raise, his goal is to just create that space, create those angles, create those trades for his teammates, and no better teammates to have for that other than this squad on Paper X. Of course, always good for that follow-up kill, and now the Forsaken Odin right from round 3.
Ready to engage. Weapons hot.
Lucky as well. Going to be looking to try to utilize that. We'll see who's going to be able to come out on top as they do get ready to spray at each other over there towards B. See a slight little creep up from Mind Freak working his way into B main. Munchkin eating some damage there. Monyet just going to be sitting on the boom bot. No one's got situated there in Wine.
Gets him one step closer to that Thrash, and they could try to bring that back over towards the B side as well. I mean, Paper X, they've already accomplished their mission here in the very beginning of the round. Disrupt A main control. That keeps them guessing on the A side, and now you can shift your focus.
Lakia doing the scouting, Meteor doing the killing. Good opening kill to be found here for the side of Gen.G as they look to get themselves on the board in this bonus round. Clock running down below a minute now. Seems like ultimately Paper X do want to end up over here on this B site. Alarm bot giving that early warning here.
Yeah, but without the full 5. Slowed down just a bit, trying to set up for the pinch from main.
Prowler, wingman sends out. Lakia able to find another kill here on the B side. Meteor as well. Nanoswarm taking down something. Monyet will fall. He manages to find a second elimination. Spike down. Can be retrieved, but now finds himself in a position where you have to ace clutch. Tap on the spike, see if anybody's close by.
Oh, he's
Hear
more
that it's not held.
Yeah, he's more focused on taking down weapons rather than the spike. Now he's going to
get closer. He does have a showstopper online now. But as he swings out behind the box, Munchkin will be able to take him down. So only 2 players lost. Gen.G retained 3 weapons and get themselves on the board.
Yeah, one of those rounds where it doesn't feel so bad for either side. Lakia playing heroics there with the Odin, just making sure that Paper X can't play their classic W gaming style. Meteor with good coverage too, all the way from backside, or rather towards their spawn, able to create that crossfire. Of course, a lot of delay on the Nanoswarm, even picking up the kill onto something. Not quite sure what happened there. But this is, I mean, all the way through the paranoia as well, just knowing that you have the crossfire ready to go.
나이스. 뭔지 모르는데 종민아.
Keeping things nice and calm for the time being, but we saw yesterday just how rowdy Gen.G can get on that stage. A couple more wins, I'm sure that we're going to be seeing that energy spiking up. But for now, has been a slow start for the likes of Texture as well as kalian.
He's over
Something
it.
going to get pinged.
Yeah.
Texture up on the top.
He didn't quite catch the fact that the Jet had flown right over the Thrash. And this seems to be something that Gen.G has kind of read through. Paper X, whenever they get that Thrash on any map they use the Gecko, they will use it right off the bat just to get some map control, and then they'll happily rotate to the other side. When you have that updraft, you can really fake them out.
Still double stacking in this position, and Texture, yep. So then he wasn't on the board, now finds himself with 2 kills. Mind Freak pushing in from 3, however, going to be able to find 1. Fragment nade coming down, does take up Munchkin, but he's quickly traded by that showstopper, but Texture now picking up the 4K to tie things up at 2-2.
All he needed was a bit of setup in this round to get that first kill, and then he gets going. You love to have a duelist like that. I love the setup that Gen.G brings against this Thrash. Obviously, we've seen plays like that before, not necessarily against the Thrash, but this is perfect because the Gecko only has the vision through that Thrash ultimate. So once it ends, you're kind of wondering, did that play happen or not? They tried to time the pinch in with the showstopper from Link, but Texture is just ready for it. and he's just playing like he's streaming from home.
And there's the energy we were talking about. Still an investment coming in, though, for Paper Rex. Stingers, and this does put a couple of the players quite low on cash.
Yeah, this, I mean, it really has to be considered a bit of a force here on this 5th round. You don't win this one out, you're gonna have to reconsider some of those broken buys in the future.
That's your point, gonna be very nicely timed to find pretty much everybody on the side of Paper Rex. 3 players going to be caught on that as they try to push their way through, but through the smoke, Munchkin just going to be able to find Forsaken, not force off the angle fast enough by the Molly. Now spotted here at back Gen. Nade coming out, flash is being sent, Monyet going on the hunt, but doesn't want to push into his own nade too much. Texture swinging out, finding one, dashes forward, catches Monyet over at Gen, and now it's all onto something.
He just won't stop. I mean, he just knows that he's meant to be the one picking up all these frags. Munchkin just buying time, gives him the call that they saw Monyet get into the site, and another 4K for Texture. 8 kills in 2 rounds.
What an unreal catch-up. He saw Monyet topping that chart, and he said, I'll be there. Now he is, 3-2.
Wow.
Gen.G in the lead, and it looks like already a timeout call getting ready to come through.
I'm not surprised, especially with the buy that we just had, but Munchkin just spraying through the smoke. I love that because we're seeing this change where teams are trying to get as close as possible into these sites before they start their actual execute. So really denying that possibility. After the first one, he's like, oh yeah, this feels common enough. Just calm down on the 4K.
And there we go. Paper Rex, Alex wanting to try to slow this down a little bit, maybe slow the momentum from Texture as well.
Yeah, I mean, you have to consider the impact that timeouts can have outside of the server as well. Sometimes just one player is heating up too much. We've seen coaches talk about it time and time again. Alex has showcased it time and time again, even in this tournament, back at the AVL as well, when side player was just popping off on that Sunset map, just calls the back-to-back timeouts, really slows down the tempo. Now, Gen.G, they've been on the receiving end of this against multiple teams even throughout this kickoff, and given the energy they showed on stage, I don't know if it's going to be enough to cool off the primary duelist in Texture.
I mean, he's just been so consistent. I mean, maybe a handful of times those first couple matches that we were seeing from Gen.G where when it did go to that map 3, he and Meteor would slouch a little bit, but the rest of the team was rising to the occasion to kind of try and compensate for that impact. But I mean, after yesterday, it was just steamroll the whole way through.
Yeah, the fact that they even feel comfortable enough to kind of tell each other that, right? It's just saying, I'm having a tough time this map. Someone please carry us through, and then I'll get right back into it in the next half. Comms like that, you love to hear from a team that had so much trouble finding the right ingredients around themselves as players.
Okay, well, Forsaken bringing that reign of terror to an end as Texture does get taken down. 0 point to 9. Takes a bit of that utility, spotting out 3 players. Mind Freak still lurking around outside of B main, just tucked away. The drone won't be able to spot him.
And this has to, oh, they don't spot Meteor. This is huge because the pinch might get slowed down by the Killjoy.
Far enough, but yep, got enough damage across. Forsaken going to be taken out. Alarmbot trigger might have actually caught him as Charon going to be able to find 2. And after a good start and finding Texture, getting rid of the tip of the spear right off the rip, and suddenly down to Mind Freak and Devi. They were working some miracles yesterday. Can they deliver some more? Now, the answer is going to be no. Devi just stuck out here outside of A main.
And this is the trouble that Paper Rex is going to have throughout this match as Munchkin gets another kill through the smoke once again.
The 0 point didn't even go off.
He was just ready for it. He's just ready for a reaction with these pre-fires. I mean, this is where that experience comes in for someone like Munchkin. But Gen.G, there are no slouches when it comes down to these 1v1 duels, so Paper Rex can't just get away with trying to create a distraction one side and then just push as one force step by step into another area. They're going to get craftier. They're going to have the aim to fire back. I mean, Meteor hiding from that Prowler was everything. Just bigging up each other on that team. I mean, some wondered, including myself, if the players would kind of get along even, given the history they have and the egos they might have from the pride that they've built up throughout their careers, but they are getting along just fine.
Seeing them around the studio just hanging out, and oh boy.
Don't think they would have spotted him just yet.
Mind Freak still does get tagged, down to 25 HP. He's going Gonna rotate back around towards Gelato, joining with the rest of the squad, and potentially we'll have to hand off that Guardian to somebody that's a bit sturdier on the HP bar.
Yeah, and the anchor here from Karen. The Paranoid buys just enough time for all the backup to arrive.
He does get in, but he's get dizzy, but now he backs away and the kills start flowing. Kara goes down 3! All they can get so far is just the 1 kill onto the enemy Killjoy. Mind Freak, the player getting tagged up right off the rip by the operator. It's the last one standing.
I mean, he's had some amazing clutches yesterday, but with 25 HP and a Guardian, you have to imagine he has to save for the next 40 seconds, at which point, Gen.G, there's nothing stopping him from going on the hunt, especially for Lakia. I mean, toss that Odin to someone else, go and make this Hunter's Fury happen for the next round.
30 seconds left.
Karen could pull a divide. He could just go TPing forward and try to scout him, but Mind Freak will swing in. Texture will get the shot, and Gen.G will continue upward. 5-2 now.
It's impressive how many moments like this that Karen has in his very first VCT tournament. Yeah, he played one event in the offseason at Convergence, but even there, it took a little bit to warm up. Yeah, he had some individual moments, but it was a very short-lived event for the squad of Gen.G. And head coach Solo talks about it, how he thinks, yeah, all these maps that they had to play really benefited someone like Karen, and he is fitting right in onto the stage. He's been starving for an opportunity like this. Now he's taking advantage of it fully. So many 3K highlights throughout kickoff.
Oh.
I was trying to ignore it. Just trying to imagine that it's not actually here. It worked before during this week.
I mean, even Paper Rex might be in the game, but this isn't like a T-Rex where we can just sit still and ignore it and the pause ends up going away. So it is in fact going to be a tech pause, much to the chagrin of literally everyone.
Yes, yeah. But we've been able to sort these out a little bit quicker here, so hopefully we'll be able to get right back into the game. But listen, things like this happen, and what's important at this point is going to be keeping up that energy for the side of Gen.G, right? I mean, no matter what the reason is, it happens now and then. It's part of a real tournament, and for Gen.G, it's about keeping that energy up, and for Paper Rex, it's about not letting the thoughts get to your head, because obviously you can't discuss any of the actual gameplay here during this part of the tech pause.
Well, looks like audio issue. Our old friend rearing its ugly head once more.
All right, well, we'll see if it gets sorted out quick enough. Talk about the match so far, though. 5-2 lead on a comeback from Gen.G after losing the pistol round. So far, this is one of those maps that's looking like you got the pistol, but what more did you make of it, right? You got the 2 rounds that you're supposed to get if you win the pistol. Obviously, the pistol won off the back of some nice shots and really fast tempo, as Paper Rex often does. But then, once the buys came in from Gen.G, they just fire right back.
Yeah, it's just incredibly impressive. And again, I mean, for Texture to just kind of start things off, not really be present in those first couple rounds, and then just slingshot his way to the top of the standings. Karen as well was right there with him. This is a scary team, and it's been a very long time since there's been any kind of real belief in Gen.G. Not since the 4-0 start and then the insane fall off at the beginning of Pacific last year. It was just like, oh, okay, this team peaked early.
Yeah.
And there's no hope. Okay, now they're bringing in Solo. He wasn't able to get much done when he was coaching over on Damwon, Lakia. He wasn't able to get through some of the matches that everyone expected that he would win at Ascension.
Yeah.
Is this going to work? They have Karen. Who is this guy? But I mean, they have made their names known.
Yes, and I was part of that group that was doubting this team. I mean, sure, a story of redemption sounds great, but that's all on paper. I felt like maybe all of them had enough chances, and now I'm proven wrong, and I couldn't be happier about it.
Paper Rex. See if they can get themselves back into this game here in round number 8. Operator, of course, still in the hands of Textures. He is just aggro pushing out. Ooh, goes for the flick. Can't quite get the connection, though. This time, Mind Freak getting away unscathed.
Yeah, but something like that really puts a damper on Paper Rex.
They're going to look to really flush him out of this position.
Are they ready for the Odin backup, though? The Prowler comes out.
Prowler coming in, and yep, Lakia not able to find the kill. Gets a good amount of damage out, but otherwise will still be standing. Haunt going up in towards the window. Cloudburst going to be slapped down. He does get caught, but Karen's going to covering fire here. Back ramp, put up the kills. Mind Freak pushing forward, gets the headshot, opening things up a bit. The Meteor here in the footsteps, swings out of the smoke, able to find one, but it's quickly traded by Devi. 1v2, null command, 2 flashes available here for the side of Munchkin. Devi, though, could reposition if he so chooses.
Yeah, but something is low, and considering that op might be picked up, Munchkin surely goes for this. I mean, you look at the creds and everything, you have to. And if it's Munchkin, there's absolutely a possibility.
Here's more.
Oh, the second thrash.
The other thrash, but 0 point. Going out to interrupt, and it does.
Just in time as well.
Stops it in its tracks before the dive can come in. Flash sent.
Waiting for a peek out.
Spectator bug there.
Yep.
Pushing
Trying to
forward,
find the
trying to
1v1s.
flush him out. Swings to the one side, but can't transition back. Munchkin making it damn close, still making it costly, but Paper Rex will be able to break the win streak.
Barely so, though. I mean, yeah, off the back of the thrash, sure, a nice triple swing to take out what they thought was the operator. In fact, it ended up being the Odin and the Sova. But then the thrash, I mean, you get the detain onto the jet, and Karon's just there for backup. What a guy to have as a bodyguard for the side of Texture. And Meteor, I don't mind the timing. He's trying to just make sure Texture can stay alive for just a bit longer. Misses, obviously, the kill just fast enough, but he's dwindling the numbers down for a potential clutch.
Straight back into it.
Late storm push out mid.
5 ults available here on the side of Gen.G. One already popped as the knives are in. Texture rushing up the top, and he mows down too. Something finally able to get the punish. The Hunter's Fury as well crashing in as Lakia hunting for a tag. Doesn't manage to find anything else, but still is a 2-for-1 trade up here for Gen.G.
They don't know about this. Mind Freaks lurk. I mean, surely you have to know. Paper Rex, they've been lurking so much this entire tournament on any map they're on. Munchkin,
I mean, he's just
spotted.
shoulder to shoulder basically with Munchkin. He was just sat there top mid. Mind Freak slides his way in towards Street.
They are
very well might think that this is protected. Divide with the TP forward to Lakia over on the corner of the Dizzy, not soon enough. He ends up falling and his Mind Freak swings in. Lakia somehow survives, gets the kill, and Gen.G just taking that momentum right back out of Paper Rex's hands.
Oh, and I'm not sure if it was just spam through the smoke or what, but that seemed a bit disjointed even for Paper Rex on those swings out from the smoke. Mind Freak's timing as well. I mean, Mind Freak, I think, waited to get the info, but this was good. We've seen that move time and time again, but the fast 180 from Texture for the anti-flash from his teammate. What a start for the team, and that should be the next timeout coming out right off the bat for Paper Rex.
I mean, we saw this just yesterday, you know, on that opening game, a split, Paper Rex needing to use both timeouts in the first half. And yeah, they went on to win the map, but I mean, it was multiple overtime resets, and it was damn close. This is a very bold attempt here from the side of Alex, but he's just not liking what he's seeing and is expecting to have more success on this attacking side.
And I do appreciate this style of timeout from Alex. Really just, as soon as he has enough to say, he calls for it. And you can see he's not stopping, he's not missing a beat here. And oftentimes it brings results. Is it always going to be the safest and wisest way to call timeouts? Maybe not. But if it works for your players, and if you have trust that in a best of series that's going to be a long haul, that you want to correct things as soon as they go wrong, then I don't mind it at all. The real question is Gen.G, their timeouts have been quite successful this tournament as well. I had my doubts on the coordination between Solo and HSK. Of course, Solo joining a bit late into the off-season, but so far they seem to be on the same page.
Now,
Bricks with another weak buy here.
That's Hero Rifle in the hands of Devi. Sheriffs across the board aside from something. Otherwise, does have that classic, which was putting in some serious work yesterday. Prowler, check forward, lock, yeah. Gonna get caught by this one. Wingman's gonna be cleared out, so under the corner. Devi using that Hero Rifle to good use. He's managed to find one, but Lakia sat to the corner. It's down two. Now that can be an Odin recovered. Meteor taken out, the headshots flying. They swing out, but Karon still anchoring here on the site.
Karon is nasty with it.
Forsaken grabs a Phantom. He has the spike in hand. Where does he decide to go? For now, just staying sat here in market. Texture swung around to Alley. And if he tries to push out, he's going to be giving them line of sight.
Yeah, he has all the time in the world, though. Still a full minute, so playing for this mind game to try to get them to search for him first. I like it.
That and waiting for the haunt timing, which he now has back online, but swing around. Karon eventually will find him a 3K. It's Gen.G moving up 7-3. Great effort, you know, still here from the side of Paper Rex, considering the buy that they had. It's looking dangerously close. But Gen.G have proven in this tournament they are the kings of the thrifty.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's how they shut down the entire team of DRX. And Lakia just dwindling down 2 is enough. It slows him down, gives an opportunity for Karon to find these 1v1s. And how many rounds is that where Karon's had a multi-kill? I gotta say, I think probably all of his kills coming from 2 or 3 Ks back-to-back as well.
Bring them down.
Keeping pace with Texture. And is effectively a brand new player. VCT, that is always a good sign. Something, however, showing a better sign for Paper Rex. He takes Texture's head off. Mania pushing forward, hitting the switch. Market door now going to be shut. Something gets taken out by the Nano Swarm.
That's the second time today.
Right here.
Bit of a brutal kill that we found. By trying to jump up there onto the half box. Narrowly avoids getting sprayed down by the Odin through the wall. Hit going to be invested. That's actually just to cut off that alley access, but as we can see, Gen.G, they're not going anywhere near it right now.
This is good
Flashing
news.
in, taking turns from it, managing to find one. Munchkin picking up the kill, but Monyet lurking, finding one, putting some shots there into Karon. Looks like he wants to go for the challenge, and he wins it. Takes him down, and suddenly it's the 2v2, the spike uncovered by this pit. Karon falls. Mind Freak able to find it, the spray coming in, but those tracer rounds just lead Mind Freak to his target. Locky goes down. Paper X looking to rescue this half. Potential 7-5.
Yeah, a little bit of an unfortunate round there for Gen.G because they had their own lockdown as well, and it looked like most of the team was on board to empty the site for a potential Nightfall. Texture just thinking he could get away with a greedy kill and dash out into Market. Unfortunately, he gets taken down, and that's an instant trade all the way onto Meteor, and the plan falls apart. But if they can get back up to 8, they should be okay for the second half. Thrash online now, though. See if Gen.G is ready for it this time.
Well, last time it was used, we just didn't see much value coming through. Something getting caught, and then rush play outside of A. This time, though, again, eyes set on B. Lakia, no Odin. Thrash is going to be coming in. Recon does get destroyed, and the Thrash not going to be able to make the jump. Z's connecting. Monyet jumping forward, looking for him. Lakia even thinking about going for the drone there for a brief little second. The jump across comes in, but he's right in front of Meteor's gun barrel. He's able to take him out. They're still being encroached on. Swing out some shots to the box, connecting there on a Forsaken, whittling him down.
Lakia's still alive.
Trying to hold the line. Does eventually fall. Something cleaning up too. Meteor going to get taken out. Karon will die. Paper X just picking them off one after the other as the rotations come in. They will be able to get this back to 5.5.
I feel like Lakia and Meteor did everything they possibly could in the entire multiverse to stay alive there in the back of sight.
Bought a lot of time.
Yeah, and yet, as the backup arrives, it's Paper X who are able to actually just flood the site and then hold all the trade angles, all the crossfire. So Paper X, when chaos comes, they know how to adapt into it. They know how to really thrive in those situations. And I mean, now suddenly a 5-7 half. This is not what Gen.G thought they'd have going into the second half. Of course, getting 5 in a row, starting with their first buy round.
They still do have that innate advantage of having both timeouts in the back pocket.
Sure.
But we know how difficult it can be to stop Paper X if they start stringing together those rounds, if they start getting streaky. And even the timeouts might not be enough to really try to slow their roll. Gen.G going to be looking to come out here with that pistol. Tie up that score line and get that much closer to closing out this first map.
Yeah, and something Gen.G will have to keep an eye on is, of course, some of these retakes that Paper X has planned with this composition. I mean, so many projectiles, so many different mollies and nades that they can throw out. And on top of that, the Toxic Screen, if you watch back to their gameplay, the Toxic Screen really does give a lot of tells on what their retake setup is going to be. So we'll see if Gen.G is able to keep tabs on that round to round.
For now, I'm just gonna wall cutting off mid. Little bit of that catwalk access as well as B main.
Yeah, just trying to really funnel them in to the A site, really, if things go their way for the side of Paper X. And if it is a B hit, still a lot of options to delay, even without something like the Killjoy, just with the fact that you have to go through Toxic Screen 2-3 times.
Third sent out, Texture pushing down. Spotted in mid so far, and something hanging back avoids that 0 point, but the drone over the top will be able to spot him. Is he getting ready to come through? And the drone should have seen Forsaken as well. Texture gonna come on, yes, the flashes are in. Texture gonna be able to find 2. A site very much open at the moment. So break the window, try to fake somebody going up, and Meteor is gonna look to hang back, lurk there within tree. Pulls all the way back actually over to short. So far, I don't believe he's been spotted.
No, they still have the numbers advantage in the site as well, so they're just trying to buy enough time, but Mind Freak.
Great check for Forsaken as well off screen, getting the shots through the box to be able to take him down. Munchkin now looking to try to hold the side. Dizzy up over the top, does manage to get the flash out.
No one's in main.
Blinded up, swing around the back. Munchkin actually able to steady the aim, finds a headshot there on a Forsaken, and now something with everything to do. He's been spotted, shock dart, a little bit of a botch there from the side of Lakia. Is the wingman now going out to try to start this defuse. The push forward, something needing to win the fight versus Karon, but he can't quite get it done. Gen.G will tie up the pistol round count and now move up by 3.
I mean, we know that the devs over at Riot were just waiting for that wingman to finish that defuse just to showcase what Gecko is possible of here at the pro level. Something, of course, someone who's capable of it. But what a great fake sell from Gen.G, sending both of your initiator and all that utility all the way up through mid. You send the 0 point, you send the drone. Really selling that you want to go for a B pinch. And then it's just the forces barreling through a link. Paper Rex just bit right onto it. Nothing more than that.
No force ups again. We saw them, going for that force buy, which is uncharacteristic of Paper Rex overall yesterday, and finding great success with it. This time, just going to be sticking with these classics. One sheriff in the hands of Mind Freak.
And this is a nice play by Paper Rex, because this is that screen that they often like to use for a retake onto B. They'll pinch in from both main and defender spawn. Try to utilize that toxic screen for a nice pinch. Just trying to sell the fact that they're not here, but no info now. They want to start dwindling it down.
They're swinging out, but Meteor still managing to come up with 2. Despite the fact that he only has a ghost, and he also puts the buy down at 44, Mind Freak at 76. Couldn't ask for much more than that from your Killjoy player in that position.
Where are you?
Now Spike can get planted.
Toxin screen down.
And if it wasn't for the Sheriff and the Ghost,
Spike
you have to
planted.
imagine this is one of those rounds where you just call for the save right away, go down to the Spike, but they're not even in a good position to do that. Looks like they will try to wait for it. Just trying to pick off some early kills, trying to bait them out with the audio.
Seems like Gen.G just have such a strong read on it. 0 point, they go check towards heaven. Now Munchkin is going to be spotting over towards trees. They reopen the door. And as they see nothing, they're very much assessing that everybody's going to be on this side of the map. Mind Freak will be able to take one more down with him.
Trying to
As
bring
they're
this to
trying
Munchkin.
to juggle it over to
Munchkin.
Munchkin. Can he get it? He got
okay.
it.
He was celebrating for a little bit, so he wasn't paying attention there, but...
Well, I mean, this esports thing doesn't work out, Texture. You can join the circus. Fantastic juggling.
It's things like that where you start to notice that Gen.G's really in it for the victory. They really want to get this first title in 2024, because little things like that could make or break the snowball towards a map win.
This is, the round where it has to be the turning point, it feels like, here for Paper Rex. Coming into the bonus. Still so much firepower available to Gen.G, but Odin now brought into the fold by Forsaken on the opposite side of the map. But once again, Gen.G just finally able to stray away from the heavy presences. And Defiant Moniat trying to swing out, just that spray comes in, they get whittled away.
That's going to hurt a lot. The paranoia down. You know that you scratched up a lot of members if you're a Gen.G player. So you know that the A site should be weak overall. Meteor going back to try to just disrupt the default just a bit from Paper Rex. Make sure they have to spread out once again. Just activates the turret and now returns.
Yeah, peeking back out. Smoke comes down. Gen.G just going to be cutting noise and starting to drift away. Wingman not spotting anything. Potentially recoverable here for the side of something, but still considers it to be a great risk, and now it certainly is one.
See if he's wise to this. A little wary of the catwalk push, but not quite down on the grass.
Oh, the timing jumps away.
Munchkin's going to try to sell a fake. On to B once again.
He's going to do his damnedest. Moniat in position here. Just waiting a little bit more.
Just cutting off the backup should be enough here for Munchkin. Oh, he hears a rotate and he calls for them to go to B. What a brilliant call.
Swings out, but he's not ready for Mind Freak, but they actually miss each other. But Mind Freak, he could just be able to shut this down, depending on when he decides to swing out. The time's so very limited, but now he's turning his sights away so the spike can get planted. Moniat coming forward. Oh, what a shot from Munchkin. Looks for more. He gets the third. Mind Freak now the last one standing on this side of the map. He's going to come up with 3. Something getting ready to join in, pushing his way in through Market. Texture on his lonesome. Try to clutch it out. Swing onto the corner. He gets the headshot, and they knew where Mind Freak was. Can he read where he is now? Push down, and Texture has it. The clutch coming through. Gen.G now moving up to double digits.
This is beautiful. This is beautiful from Gen.G. You have an incredible call from your IGL who puts himself at risk to not only sell the fake, but you are still looking at the clock to say that we have time to rotate. If I hear them starting to flood back to the A side, then a brilliant triple kill, and then Texture to clutch it on a bonus. This is everything you could hope for. If Gen.G doesn't close this map out, I think these players have plenty to be upset about, because this should pretty much spell the end of it.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Munchkin just beautifully serving that one up. Once again, just slowing things down. Spotted now is Texture. Something able to find the headshot with the Sheriff. Backs his way out. Meteor, same time, however, catching Mind Freak on that lurk forward out of B main. Forsaken as well. Trying to push this. He does have a Bulldog and Meteor at 11 HP. Severely disadvantaged here. They're going to back away and miss each other there in the end, but Karen pushing up into bench. Taking down something. Giving that advantage back over to Gen.G as Lakia is here, sat outside of Gelato, and this time Monyet not going to be able to win the fight right around that ult orb.
Yeah, they should be able to go over to B. Meteor heard the exit from B main. You got the kill in mid as well, so you know that Forsaken was pretty pressured on the B side.
Great timing from Dubai, swinging out right before that ping would come down. Catches Lakia completely off guard. Finds the punish, keeps things close, as well as recovering a weapon.
Charon, it'd be wise to just tuck in somewhere, make sure that you can cut off the backup, maybe get some info. They're a little scared because Meteor's so low.
30 seconds.
He's going to try to find this right now. Forsaken is not thinking about it. Karen finding the kill, leaving out Devi on his lonesome.
Cover going out.
Find a quick pick on the Meteor, would bring it into a 1v2. He still holds on to a Paranoia as well as 1 TP.
Yeah, but 3 members, they can watch every single possible entrance. It doesn't matter if the mind games are here or not.
Shadows traveling.
Does he go for a shadow step here? I love that Munchkin enters that smoke right away. Doesn't want to take any risks.
The flash into the back, but now they're very well aware of his position. The swing out. Meteor does remain standing at the end of it. 11 HP and 11 round wins. Gen.G 2 away from taking their map pick of Ascent in dominant fashion.
And finally, an operator comes online for Paper X, but it just might be too late. What Gen.G's been doing here is really just shutting down the possible compositional advantages that Paper X is looking for. I mean, they have so many ways where they could really initiate this attrition of all that utility. And they just have, I mean, Gen.G just has the counters to it. Obviously, this composition, the classic composition I said, it's good for a reason.
Texture up and over, diving his way in towards the B side, but no one there to greet him. For the snake bite, now the free entry coming through. Spike will get planted. And as Meteor plants this, that's also going to give him a lockdown. So many ultimates here for the side of Paper Rex that they're just 1 away from things that they could very well utilize and would love to have to try to get this retake going, but now it's just going to be that tempo lockdown coming through.
You have to flood it.
They're going to have to try to rush, break this one down. The Dizzy is there. Knives coming back through, though. Locky with the covering fire, able to take out Monyet. They got the lockdown, but they've lost the war. Mind freaking something, the last one standing. The off, able to find one. The rush in, the right click. Texture takes him down, draws up the weapon, but Karen's already claimed the kill. Gen.G now at map point.
I mean, Texture pretty much asking how big's your mouse pad something, because you ain't flicking for this one. Shuts him down.
Even the high sense not going to save you there.
My gosh. And I think one of the things that might be, I mean, sure, they face against each other in Group C, but one thing that really is keeping Paper X scratching their head is you just haven't seen a Korean squad play for contact like this.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they just greed for these duels, and they're not backing away from it.
The confidence right now is just something that is so dangerous that Paper X has to deal with, but breaking the confidence of Gen.G has proven to be incredibly difficult for every single team that has faced them thus far.
Oh, they
push.
Wow,
Three
they want to
players
send a
up
message.
mid.
Try to take down this pit.
Swing on the corner, something dead. Pop flash up over the back of the wall, gets the full catchy and on a Forsaken. Another one in hand. Monyet will be able to find the kill. Showstopper at the ready, spotting Lakia dead. Monyet keeping in this one, and also finding that spike. Texture, however, around the back. Regains his audio, dashes away. The Boombot only able to find the kill. 7 bullets remaining here. As Meteor, the covering fire, out in mid, finds it, and it's a 1-tap to finish the map. 13-5, Gen.G showing up to play.
Getting a confident win on your map pick when they faced off against each other in the groups. They took each other's map and went to that map 3, where PaperX brought out this unconventional no duelist competition at Sunset. That's what shut them down, but Gen.G comes back and says, now we've got some tape on you. We've got all the warm-up we need. Even Karon has now gotten used to the stage. And immediately, Coach Alex wanting to make sure he doesn't forget all the things he saw that they need to fix if they want to extend this best of 5 in the finals of this kickoff tournament.
An incredible display put up. 23, 9, and 3 from Texture on the scoreboard. Just a monstrous KDA from him. Gen.G, what a start. We'll see if that carries forward because Split is going to be on the horizon. But first, we'll let the analysts break down all the action here from map 1.
What an incredible performance by Gen.G. They definitely had the PaperX Zoo comp figured out. I mean, the moment Solo picked Descent, we were like, he's either insane or he's figured it out.
Yeah, I was actually pretty worried about this pick, to be honest. I thought, oh man, the PaperX look really good on this map. Like, what are you cooking here? But clearly it's looking great. I mean, it's so many things going right for them. The firepower is not lacking today. It's the same Gen.G we've been seeing throughout the entire year. And on top of that, you're getting some of this like mixed style of Gen.G. It isn't that standard Korean style, especially with players like Munchkin there who are just pushing their way through to the spawns of his opponents and just tearing them apart.
That round is like, it's reminiscent of what we saw in PaperX versus EG in that Finals of Champions. You know, these deep lurks that PaperX somehow just doesn't quite expect, especially down mid. And they have the aggression, you know, they got the early contact and they continue to push through it. And Texture is someone who, I don't know how he gets those tailwinds. The timing of it, the way he dodges some of these utilities sometimes, it's just too darn good.
Yeah.
It's crazy. There's a lot of them hanging around spawn area, and that's where PaperX tends to go down. Munchkin with that Guardian tap.
Oh, my
on
the
Monyet. Oh my god.
Ooh, that sent shivers on my spine. I mean, that was absolutely nasty. And think about the fact that, you know, they were juggling the guns to get that Guardian into play still.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Their head is so in the game right now, it's insane. And the other thing is like for PaperX, it's a tough adjustment because T1 plays nothing like this. Like, this is way different. T1 doesn't really take much mid control. They leave it pretty well open. Sometimes Haya's player is there, of course, to try to, you know, use the op or whatever, but for the most part, it's left open, and it is not the case at all for Gen.G. They are going to try to punish the weaknesses in your defenses, and they absolutely did it. They're like to a treat.
I mean, the thing that stands out to me the most, if you take a look at the bottom of your screen right now, is the 5-round win streak on the Gen.G's defensive half. Because, you know, PaperX wants to start out strong on attack. That's kind of their whole game plan. That's what this composition is about. You got Raze, you got Gecko, you're trying to break things open, especially off of that Dizzy. However, Gen.G has clearly figured it out. You know, there were times with that A-split push that PaperX repeatedly tried to pull off. Texture gets an early pick. They are set up, they've stacked up on the site. You have, I can't remember if it was like Munchkin or Lakia, but someone hiding in the corner of A site, just right outside of A main. And they're just preemptively shooting down that Dizzy that gets sent out. So no matter what PaperX throws at them, they always get numbers advantage. They're ready to receive contact, and Gen.G just shows that they have that preparation. And apart from that, I mean, yes, MVP is Texture, but can we talk about Karon for a second? There were some of these rounds where he picks up impact frags, just holding Boathouse on B site by himself. 1v2 clutches, 1v-X's, and he just does so much.
He's so confident right now. Solo was saying in his interview, because of all these games that have been happening, in a way, Karon has leveled up. And he's shaken off a lot of the nerves. When you're playing through that many games in 1 week, by the time you get to this one, you're probably super warm, and you know nothing's gonna throw you at this point.
Yeah, and Alex touched on this in his pre-match interview, where he was saying like sometimes it's a blessing and a curse to have to play that many games. Like on the one hand, your opponents are gonna have a lot of tape, and that's where PaperX has to lean into, right? They have to say we have an idea of what they're going to do. This was different today. This was a Gen.G that I haven't quite seen just yet. But also, on the other hand, your opponent's going to be warmed up. They're going to be comfortable on stage, especially with a rookie like Karon there, able to get that experience under his belt to really understand what it's like to play in front of a crowd, to play in front of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people online as well. So this ability to get Gen.G this far with their just determination, their mental grit, things like that are really starting to pay dividends.
Now, I do have to bring up texture. Paper Thin, you've been a long time believer of the texture jet power.
Preach to us.
I'm the preacher.
Yes.
I mean, I'm trying to think of a way to put this because I have been asked many times who I thought the best jet in Korea was. And mostly I leaned toward Buzz because of his ability to be so stable as an entry fragger. But the thing he was always kind of lacking compared to Texture was his op. Texture is the complete package. He has explosive plays, he has steady plays, he can do a lot of different things well for you, and his operator is top tier. So this guy is so fearsome to deal with. He can set up individually for himself. You saw that top mid play where he turned that flash and came and got that double with the Blade Storm. I mean, things like that he's able to pull out, taking a page out of something's book, to be honest. We saw that last year. So like those kind of plays that he has in the bank on top of playing pretty well off of his teammates, and his teammates support him. We saw a lot of teamwork, you know, in that final round. Meteor there swings into mid to cover him from market. Things like that really working well for Gen.G.
Yeah, I mean, is Texture really the make or break here? I don't know, because they've all been playing fantastically. They've been able to read all of Paper Rex's maneuvers. They're swinging from site to site. Basically, they figure them out.
Like you mentioned before, right? You know, Texture, I don't know if he's exactly the make or break. He is definitely the star fragger right now, but there are those games, even when he struggles a little bit. Maybe like he's like, I don't feel good today. I'm a little bit off. But then he tells his teammates, and they all step it up. That's the craziest thing, because that culture difference from like some of the other Korean teams and how PaperX operates even, there are some similarities here, and they all definitely feel like they are close to that finishing line. They can taste victory, and I think that's something that gives them this extra boost, this extra surge of confidence. And Gen.G is really hungry today. Out of all days, today, they are the hungriest I've ever seen.
Texture is hungry again, and you know what happens when Texture is hungry. He gets a lot of kills, and he has 4 more maps to get through. Maybe even less at this point. Well, the next map, I mean, the triple duelist comp?
Oh,
sure, why not? Sure, why not?
Why not?
I mean, look, it got over the line yesterday. I mean, if it isn't for a few key moments, right, that could have very well gone T1's way. So. And now you have to look at what Gen.G is able to do. You have to start thinking that T1 probably right now isn't as strong of a team as Gen.G. And not just because of the way this map went, but because of how this whole season has gone so far, in that just the ability to adapt and be explosive and things like that. T1 is a much more stable team. They're a very fundamental team. This Gen.G team doesn't really scream that to me. They're screaming, we are going to take duels sometimes, and we're going to win. But we're also going to adapt on the defender side. You know, the early contact plays that they tried in the pistol round and the follow-up against PaperX didn't work. Immediate adjustments came in round 3 and got them that 5-round win streak you talked about.
That's one of the biggest things, you know, about this Gen.G right now. Yes, we've seen PaperX. They got that triple duelist. Very interesting. Maybe they cooked it up like 1 or 2 weeks ago. That's what they said in the interview. But Gen.G, we've only seen their split once. They played it against RRQ in their opening games against in Group C. And they had this double duelist composition. Meteor on the Jet, Texture on that Raze. And it wasn't the best game for Texture. They actually lost that map to RRQ 13-11. They really struggled on that attack. But the thing is, RRQ had a more traditional composition. They had that double controller. So I think that's one of the main factors why. If PaperX plays triple duelist against a double duelist, how does that work on defense? You know, you have to really think about how you want to make use of that Yoru, and I'm not too sure if they are going to do the same thing again.
Yeah, I think if you're Gen.G and you're assuming that PaperX is going to lean in to that triple duelist again, I wouldn't mind seeing something like a double sentinel here from the side of Gen.G, something to really shut down some of that firepower, to utilize those gaps in the abilities. But it is going to be the same thing here for Gen.G. They're still going to use that double duelist, so probably just frankly didn't have enough time to really workshop anything. Like, it's really tough, of course, with the short amount of time and the insane amount of games that Gen.G has had to play.
Triple duelist for PaperX. Let's see.
Let's do it. It worked.
It did work, but what really makes a duelist effective is confidence. It is so important, and right now we can see Texture was definitely feeling it. Every time the cam was on him, he was screaming, he was singing, he was looking happy. He did at one point, but he got that like 3K. PaperX, they need to feel confident. You have 3 duels. If you have no confidence, that's it. All right, let's go into our second game split. Over to our casters to take us through the action.
Thank you very much. Yes, here we go again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you weren't tuned into the matches yesterday, first of all, what in the hell were you doing? What were you thinking? Missing out on those overall blowouts that we had. But you missed the triple duelist debut from Paper Rex, but that's okay. They're bringing it out for you once again. The question is, can they get the win here?
Yeah, and now starting on the attacking side as well. So Gen.G, they've been banning it since that tough loss against RQ, 11-13, as Ades touched upon. Now they're bringing it back. Now in that game, their defense was, by miles much stronger. So trying to just get a head start here on the rounds. And guess what? Paper Rex, they favor the attack here with this composition as well.
All right, for now, nice and quiet over here at B. So they get into some very deep positions. Flash held at the moment there from Locky as a nice interrupt on the plant comes through. The rush back out. Able to find one, Monyet with two. Meteor up in heaven. Finding one before getting taken out. Amazing fast hit coming back in here from Paper Rex is suddenly Munchkin, the last one standing with just a Sheriff in hand. He's looking for some kills, looking for anything here, but with another paint shell as well as everybody hounding him down, he will fall. Devi the only casualty. Paper Rex will once again claim an opening pistol.
Yeah, I thought Gen.G might just be going for the delay there with the paint shells and then take that time to clear out back alley once more, but they kind of initiate the retake immediately. And that actually favors Paper Rex as they've already gotten off of the spike plant. They still have all 5 members available. Still good positions from within the site. So Gen.G, we'll see if they kind of reconsider some of those timings, because we know how crazy Paper Rex's post-plant situations can get, especially with Forsaken Juru.
Meteor still going to be picking up that Marshall. He's on the jet. Very standard eco buy from him. Otherwise, Charon ready for some close contact, but something swinging in the corners. One of the things that we saw he was so damn good at was shutting down side player snipers, swinging corners with the Vandals, and finding the headshot instantly. So he does it once more here. Start off this round. Mind Freak hanging back will take a bit of damage, but finds the elimination there on the Lakia. Now with Charon making his way over. I think he's going to have to take Lakia's gun because shorty on the retake probably not going to be the best thing.
Yeah, good backup from Forsaken as well. So we see that Mind Freak's pretty low, and you don't want to lose those rifles. So Forsaken going down with the Sheriff is fine. You still have 3 rifles that you bought up. Want to try to keep that in play. And Devi hears that. He's ready for the quick kill on to Charon. That's 2-0 lead for Paper Rex once again.
That it is. This is where we saw the turnaround and the streak beginning for Gen.G. So Paper Rex, see if they're going to be able to clinch this conversion on the bonus round, or if Gen.G will be able to get themselves on the board. But really nice hot start there from something. Mind Freak with fantastic anchor, just not allowing them to find any presence around this ramp.
Yeah, given the compositions once again, and Paper Rex, the record that they had in yesterday's game, I gotta imagine they have to be looking to throw something out of the book and get this bonus round conversion. You want to get as many on the attacking half as possible.
Does it again.
It starts with that.
He does it again. Swing main, kill player, over at screens.
Should have heard the footsteps.
Starting things off 2-0. Meteor just around the corner. Lakia swinging. They're going to try to double face here. As, yeah, it's not ready for that swing to come back through. It's going down. The rest of the team rotating over towards B, where Charon's still going to be sat. By just kind of dodging around that Trailblazer a bit. And I guess just didn't see anything at all. No peripheral vision on the dog, I suppose. Forsaken, but that outlaw to use does manage to find Charon. Texture up and heaven, however, will be able to trade one back. Mind Freak very quickly replies with a kill of his own. Push out. Bit of damage there on him on yet. Cancel on the plant for now. Means that Meteor does manage to find at least one more, but widely. With the teammates coming through, Paper Rex not going to be concerned about their losses whatsoever. They convert the bonus and start off 3-0.
I'm a little shocked at how confident Devi was that the Trailblazers didn't see him. I mean, he just knew exactly the angles that it would be able to scout, especially around the toxic screen. I think that's more so what he was banking on. The fact that, of course, when you're right up against that toxic screen, your vision does get blurred a little bit already. And with all that distraction, you know that the site should be weaker, and that's going to be an early timeout. You got to imagine from the Gen.G side, finally using one.
Nah, it's Alex just saying, all right, good job, guys.
Yeah, he's like, this time I want to tell you, good job for once.
Keep this up. Just do more of what you're doing. But yeah, I mean, first time out call that we're seeing from the Gen.G camp, just given how far ahead they were and how much in the driver's seat they were on that opening map. Never needed to really pump the brakes. So after dropping that bonus, we'll start talking about what the game plan is going to be. And they're identifying so far. But it's also difficult because at the end of the day, these rounds are starting because something just swings a corner and headshots you.
Yeah, I mean, when you're already down one man, and I was almost going to say Paper Rex not really gaining that much more space after something goes into the site might bite them back, but it works out. Gen.G gets a little curious because they still don't have as much information either. Of course, they're also running a double duelist here, so not as much util that you're used to having, especially with the sky changes. I am curious if Gen.G might consider trying not to use the operator too much, right? Don't try to build up to that too much economically, because you might get the first kill, but when you've got the Raze Jet and the Yoru like all TPing into sight, that just spells trouble.
Oh, I mean, we saw how easily, for the most part, Forsaken was able to deal with those operators as well. When he was the one going into the dimensional drift or just TPing into a position where they suspect that side player was going to be posted up, more often than not, he was coming away with those eliminations. So it could be the game plan that they try to stray away from that. We'll have to just wait and see as things continue to develop. For now, full stack from Gen.G over on the A side, as they are very quickly going to learn that they have gambled wrong.
Wow, that's unfortunate, and PaperX will just wait to have somebody that needs an ult point try to go for the spike plant.
No fun yet, finally volunteers. Saying Showstopper's pretty good, I guess I'll take that.
And knowing that they had the time as well. Now, I'm going to be curious if PaperX all decide to push back out of main, because it looks like that's the idea. They don't want to push any deeper into the site. So PaperX, perhaps the idea, not really necessarily going for kills, right? They just want to say, we want to snowball as much as possible. We want to keep the weapons we have. Don't necessarily hunt for kills. If they die to the spike, that's it.
Creeping up. Mind Freak finding one. Charon. And off the back of that damage there, gets the nice headshot.
Yeah, you're going to want a double stack here. Something alone could be dangerous.
Monyet checking all the way back over towards spawn. Heaven for the time being not being checked. As Lockett will fall, but Charon with another nice shot. Texture as well. Getting some solid damage here. Charon's going to be able to find 3. They clean him up. They can't stop the spike from going off. PaperX, they will be able to get up to 4, but Gen.G doing some damage, recovering some weapons.
This is by far the absolute worst case scenario for PaperX on that round. Sure, you're supposed to win the round. Yes, you can buy up to most of your weapons, but giving over those kills and the free weapon upgrades, that allows for the operator to still be a considered purchase here for Meteor. That gives Gen.G a ray of hope to get back into this first half.
Potentially, I mean, Meteor not going to give them the opportunity to really swing in towards main. He's just going to try to greet them off the rib. Does have Lockett to try to back up, peel
Who's next?
a bit, but with the dimensional drift coming through, he's just going to have to back away very swiftly. Now the Paranoia as well crashing in.
They're all in.
Forsaken is out of the portal, and he's got a judge in hand. Lockett falls. Something is the one, of course, to headshot Meteor at the same time. So Munchkin will make his way up into heaven. Will be able to take down the enemy jet, but now a 3v4. Such hard angles to try and clear. Divide holding ramp. Shuts down one. Karen just plus 40 into heaven, still managing to find the elimination there. Texture waiting on that flash, swings in, and Forsaken's going to be good for it. A 3K here from the Yoru is PaperX. Well, not going to be losing all their weapons this time around, and in fact, they pick up the operator themselves.
Yeah, you can imagine how you're going to counter the Yoru all you want, but once you hear that little whisper from the other dimension following you all into the site, things get a little chaotic. We even have the Paranoia there to assist as well. That just really sets up all 3 duelists for a great entry. And I was going to say, overall, this is actually one of the first matches where I felt that Divide had very little impact, but right there, holding that close angle, trying to get back into the swing of things himself.
Still a purchase coming through, but obviously the operator not in hand. Something just going to look to eat some of that damage. As the Trailblazer, nice timing, does get cleared out before it can spot him in this position. Flash coming in, Texture on the swing. Not ready for it, ends up getting taken down. Dominance continuing from PaperX.
Now Gen.G, they can't get too curious about this. I like that they're retaking control of ramp, but that's about all you get. You try to push in through the smoke. That spells trouble.
But look at this, I mean, because of the just lack of sound, they're drifting off. They're moving away from this A site.
I don't blame them, because otherwise you're down to a 2-2 split, right? So I guess they're just saying, listen, worst case scenario, we go for a 45 retake. You do have the Cosmic Divide. We'll see what they have cooked up. So I don't blame them, but you're right. I mean, they go for the gamble because they don't hear the audio anymore, and it's going to be, once again, another free site for PaperX. I mean, you know, they're happy to fight, but they're just saying, okay, well, if we go in for free with no content, we'll take that as well.
Hand off to Monyet. Showstopper now online. It's Gen.G. And how far do you really push to try to get this retake going before you just have to call it off? Lockett does have a stinger, so he wouldn't mind sacrificing for the, you know, chance or the try to clean some kills up. The Showstopper does come out. find much of anything there, and oh man, but a sniper out of the sky with a shorty. Lock-in will be able to find one. kalian now though, last man standing. Push onto the corner is going to be good for the kill into something. He was down to no HP. Snappy as all hell though. Finds another kill, goes into the astral form, sends it to Cosmic Divide. Mind Freak sends out the paranoia. He tries to swing the wall. TP's in behind him. kalian thinking he was up above.
I mean,
oh man.
The fact that, first of all, kalian thought he would have gone above, props to him. I mean, he threw his best shot he had in that chaotic 1v1 when he was just enshrouded in the darkness. But Mind Freak, I've been seeing it watching these games. I feel like we're getting right up close to peak Mind Freak once again. Reminiscent of the performances he had back at Masters Copenhagen, where he was helping carry so many impact rounds.
They say Masters Copenhagen, we can still look at champions.
That's true.
That Astra play, the 1-2-3 on Pearl, lives rent-free in my head, not just because I was the one that said it. He had his spikes, but I mean, right now, Gen.G looking like a very different team, and Paper Rex absolutely thriving in this chaos.
Wow.
The second timeout called after 6 rounds played. Nothing scooped up here for Gen.G. And I mean, again, the closest that they got was when they killed everybody. With the spike, it was too far gone.
I'm curious to see, because with, once you're down that one man, suddenly these retakes are looking tough. Forsaken just asking for a massage. He's like, I really want to be the super hard carry here. You got to loosen me up a little bit, but I mean, they don't really need it at this point. All of them performing well up to their own standards here on the second map, looking very comfortable and proving that this triple duelist wasn't just a gimmick. And we talked about this before coming into this match. I mean, sure, they might have cooked something up just because this tournament is relatively short. People aren't going to have as much time to anti-strat. So yes, there's merit to that, but hey, that's power to you. You know how to play the tournament, you know how to play the system. You might as well be ready for that victory.
Every other team with hopes of Madrid around the world likely going to be looking at this one. Only for Paper X to do something completely different when they make it over to Spain. Monyet jumping forward, trying to see if he can catch somebody out into the open. Just like something has now in mid. Lock-in just jiggling on the corner.
And that's
not wide enough to spot the operator.
No info, no flashes. Your retake is now more difficult. You don't know if you want to stack or go for the 2-and-2 split. So Gen.G, if you don't want to give up this round right away, I think you do have to play for contact. It's risky, but this is what you need.
Warp going down. Okay, the 2v2. Surprise fight goes the way of Gen.G. Munchkin Texture putting their team here in the most winnable position that they've been in, and Munchkin reads it perfectly.
My ultimate is ready.
Turns his sights back over to main. The swing in. Snake fight at the ready. Full flash connecting onto him. He will just get sprayed down through the smoke as the blast pack entry is attempted. Monyet does fall. Texture now swinging back over the ramp. Forsaken winning the fight. The mask going to be thrown on.
Oh, he should be able to get
the teleport. He's going to be able to spot them both. Rotating around. And it looks like they think that he's just going to end up snapping back over towards A. Fakes the teleport. Now exits over here at B.
They called a bluff as much as they could, but it's Forsaken. He knows how this works. He sees their movement all the way to the end, even leaves that one extra seed of doubt, spotting kalian nearby, and now he has a gate crash.
He is going all the way back around. He does have that gate crash set up. No other util to play with. 40 HP.
When does he tap it, though? Surely this is a fake.
Hold. They get it up to half. He's going to have to do something here soon. The fake TP coming in, but kalian's just stuck to it.
That's unfortunate. Just couldn't find the lineup onto the headshot. Meteor will clean up the kill as well. The setup was there. You can't doubt the Master Yoru here in Pacific, but kalian just sticking with it close to the wall as well. So good positioning with Meteor able to cover him. But this is where it starts. I mean, Munchkin with the call that we can't just keep getting shaken up back and forth after we lose one guy. We have to even out the numbers. And this is how they win a lot of these rounds, where they don't get the first kill, right? They've been very good at converting these.
Well, that's one step in the right direction here for Gen.G.
Get out of my way.
Again, it was, widely that attacker side that we saw Paper X getting the most value from the triple duelist. Understandable. As last pack bouncing backward out of that smoke. Not much damage taken here. Robot comes in, Texture decides that that's his swing timing. Something swings up in towards heaven. Finds Locky with the right click. Texture looking for a little bit more, but Forsaken able to keep his teammate protected. It's whittled away at, but keeps them in with the man advantage.
Well, they have information on 2 of the members. I'm pretty sure they should have spotted the jet up in heaven as well.
kalian Waiting to see if anybody else comes swinging in, but Forsaken just playing right on the edge, outside of the garage. There's the timing. He swings in. He will be able to find one, then gets taken down.
They're going to wait for the lurk from Devi. They still have so much time.
Swing out. Munchkin ready for it. Now looking for the push forward. Something able to win out versus Meteor.
Munchkin has the pit.
But does he commit it here? It's still so risky. Maybe if he wins the opening fight, there's something jiggle peeking. Without a weapon, ends up falling. Munchkin still though, completely unaware of Mind Freak's position. Needs to just rely on his intuition, but now knows. Time is going to be dwindling. Smoke coming down. Swings out. Mind Freak right in the corner, able to find the kill. Paper Rex not allowing for Gen.G to string anything together. 7-1. The half becomes worse and worse as time goes on for Gen.G.
Yeah, Paper Rex is going to be happy if they can even just pick up one more round here, which is looking very possible with the economy in this one. But a very quick kill and exit from something on that one. And I want to give props to Munchkin. He reads the jump timings onto the jet over from something, and he peeks out right as he knows the jump is landing because he hears the float. But at the end of the day, it's Mind Freak once again. 10 kills and 3 deaths. What an impressive scoreline.
Vanya going on the entry, gets the full flash. He's going to be taken down by Texture with the nade. Angel's finding one now, Showstopper. Texture goes leaping forward, sends it into the corner. Mind Freak TP is actually on the back end of the Showstopper going off. Now gets himself tucked away, but the spike for now getting drifted over towards that B site, rotating back around through the attacker spawn. Meteor, however, way out ahead, and he can hear these footsteps.
Oh yeah, notwithstanding the weapon situation, this is the best round Gen.G's looking at so far.
There's the one tap, the Guardian, putting him down. Doesn't want to continue to hold the angle, showing respect to the opponents that he's facing. He pulls back, also very well aware that that sewer lurk could come through from behind.
Yeah, the Seekers are going to give him sight of at least one.
Oh my, what a snappy shot. Finds one, looks for another. Hadn't got that on the Mind Freak. I might have lost my damn mind. Paranoia going to be sent out. Meteor pulling back over in towards Heaven. But now it is just Devi and Mind Freak to try and see if they can somehow engineer this 2v5 retake. Otherwise, Gen.G, I mean, it was on the tip of my tongue right as the round started, but they pushed the go button so quickly. But these guys, they're thrifties throughout this tournament, have been impeccable, and they're looking for another one now.
That's how they're able to overcome so many of these opponents, and Texture has the lineup. 2 more in B main as well, so even if they get through this race, it's a difficult one.
So with the Sheriff looking for the shot, this time not going to be able to find it.
Gravity well.
But grab well coming through, time dwindling, 12 seconds. Devi tapping the rope, and Heron just trying to slow them up. Devi able to find one, but he needs to get the plant down, taps it, fakes it. The round is already over. And he's well aware of it. Won't be able to hold on to the weapons. The Thrifty will come through. Gen.G get themselves up to 2 rounds.
We're going to have to go back and look at this entire tournament because it wasn't just yesterday. Gen.G, they have been clawing their way back into not just maps, but entire matches and stages, phases of this entire kickoff tournament to stay alive off of these Thrifties, off of these 4v5s, 3v5s, things like that. And you wonder just what it is, and I think Charon's a big part of it. Just the shots he can make with these Sheriffs, with these Guardians, things like that.
I think he's leading the charge right now, he and Mind Freak. Topping the board. So, Bagi testing the limits there, but coming out on top. Trailblazer going to be cleared, and Meteor's got the covering fire. Forsaken thinking he was going to have the jump. Ends up getting punished for it. Gen.G looked to get the 3. They're pulling off the angle for a brief little moment. Meteor continuing to have his sights trained in towards mid. Devi swinging onto the corner. Will be able to find the follow-up headshot through the corner now. Grabwell goes out. For now, not wanting the challenge in. Still formidable opponent to the other side, even if it's just the Sheriff's in hand. But Texture arriving through vent will be able to take out the Devi. That's the spike now stranded. Mind Freak has no choice but to swing in and try to fight. He'll go down.
I'm not sure if this was necessarily called out in their comms, but Charon not peeking once more after activating the Grabwell, it just shows how much experience he's gained throughout this tournament as an entirely new rookie. Because obviously with the Grabwell activated, he saw that the Omen was still stuck in that area of effect. he could have gone for it. But if he dies there while everyone is waiting for that extra duel, the last duel in mid, that's a rifle given over one more chance for Paper Rex to claw back into the round. So he just says, I won't give it to you. I'll wait for more backup to come, and we'll swarm you for the last kill.
And we only have the timeout being called here from Paper Rex. So, I mean, a bit of a moment to kind of talk about kalian a little bit more and maybe explain to those who don't know what a Royal Road is.
Ah, yes, because I guess for kalian, this is exactly that opportunity. It's when someone obviously just enters into that tournament for the very first time and they're able to go all the way to the very end, winning the title. And for kalian, it's not just this tier of tournament, it's not just this event or this series of VCT. It is just everything in the entire professional Valorant ecosystem. This is going to be his first time playing at an official tournament during a regular season. And for him to win a title of Pacific Kings would be nothing short of miraculous.
Yep. It's on a good pace, and I mean, Gen.G, let's say they take the series. Right now, kalian making a damn good argument for MVP of this grand final. See what happens. So there's still plenty more Valorant to be played. Paper Rex still out in the lead by 4 rounds. Gen.G want to try to claw that back as much as humanly possible.
Toxins going up.
Take back from Devi, anticipating some forward aggression. Keeps that staved off for the time being as majority of Paper Rex find themselves out here in mid. Lakia, however, snappy with a headshot, takes down Forsaken. Something in Monyet, go rushing forward. They will get some nice trade damage back there on the Lakia, putting him down to 48, but kill is not found.
Paper Rex, they have good position on the map, but they just have no idea how many more members might be near ramp in the site on A, so they are a little cautious, and that gives time for Lakia to get the information he needs to start the rotate over to A.
Lakia comes back in. Oh, somehow making it out of there with his life intact. The drop down from Monyet, rushing forward, and Munchkin cannot find the spray. He's able to come up with a kill against all odds. Bringing it now back into a 4v4. Rest of the team rotating over. Devi ready. The pit now going to be invested.
All 4 in the pit, though. I mean, this is a gamble if I've ever seen one.
Convict Divide. Not sure how much it's going to be realistically doing here for the side of Gen.G. We'll see how they often play around this one, but something spotted the gun barrel. We'll find the headshot there on a Meteor. Just continue to play around the back side. Lock, finished off. Something coming up with yet another kill. Now updrafts here on top of the screen. Finds texture. kalian pushing forward, is able to find 1, finds 2. Something will get the 4th to put him down and stop the potential run back from coming through. Paper Rex.
Last round before
timeout working for them. They get themselves now up to 8, looking for 9.
Yeah, I think 8's where you feel okay with it, but 9 would make it very comfortable because then you just win that pistol. And with this composition, surely you just cook up a little, couple more options for your pistol rounds. Make sure you secure the 2 free rounds on the half off the back of the pistol. And then try to get it. This 3rd kill is just not fair. Right at the end of the spray, he adjusted towards the bottom before he dashes out. But the updraft is smart. You know the Cosmic Divide is there. They're not going to hear it entirely clearly.
Get out of my way.
I'll handle this.
That's now on. Forsaken starting off this last round of the half very quickly. Rushing forward, judge in hand. He finds kalian. Meteor swinging around the backside of pillar, able to find 1, but now he's completely surrounded. He's going to get just chopped to bits. Something with the Blade Storm finding the kill. The man advantage for now going to be here in the hands of Paper Rex. Top left send, Texture swinging out, trying to get the transfer, can't make it happen. Lakia arrives with the Odin, Munchkin as well, up onto the Raptors. Takes down something, and now it is all on Devi. But a very long walkabout, but playing on this alley side. Lakia now giving credence to his potential position. Starts checking in behind.
Yeah, you got to suspect it one way or the other. I'm fine with you refilling the pit, but you know where Devi's been playing in that match yesterday against T1. No, he loves those lurks. Now, 50 seconds. I mean, Devi could clear here, go back up to heaven. He's got all the options he needs.
Does, but he's going to be spotted. Checking right. Munchkin finds it. Gen.G will be able to finish the half with 4 rounds, which is more than it was looking like it was going to be.
Yes.
But Paper Rex still in very firm control.
No, I think the scoreline itself, both teams are probably okay with it, but given how it started, Gen.G probably feeling a bit better going into the second half, looking at their chances. Both teams going to be eyeing that ever so precious pistol round to see if they can chain it in to the 2 free wins. That would get Paper Rex just 3 steps away from trying to tie up the series 1-1. It's great to see so many fans out here, not just for Gen.G, but of course the reigning champions of Pacific as well. I mean, the fan base that they've created here in Korea after the impressive performances last year, including the finals at the Changchun Stadium, has been very, very amazing to see. But now they have to prove it once more, a new start in the 2024 season.
It's all about retaining that throne here for Paper Rex. But yeah, I mean that, you know, just their history and camaraderie with DRX throughout the multiple internationals that, you know, they have appeared at together, which has basically been every international until now.
Yes. Yeah, it's crazy to really think about the history that the two teams have created, and now we're already seeing a bit of a shakeup, and maybe a little bit more of it as well, as Paper Rex are already down one map, now trying to win their map choice of split. The pistol, this is where it starts. It's going to be a 3-2 split for Paper Rex. No gate crash just yet.
DRX not being at an international feels like dad going out to get milk.
We'll leave it right
Wonder
there.
if he's going to come back.
Okay, we'll finish it, I guess. Well, of course they did go for the Sheriff. It's a fast
Oh, the
push
rush.
in.
The flash is good. Texture gets
the back.
first kill, but they didn't check on yet. They didn't look to the left. Gonna take it down. Forsaken trying to hold here with that Sheriff, but has the gate crash back across the opposite side of the map.
Two Sheriffs. Paper Rex are just looking to swing and win these duels. The train.
Arriving, able to find one, giving them back into the advantage, but Karon snappy with the first one. The swing out from back pillar. Munchkin catching Devi unawares. Now it's all on Forsaken. Low HP bar finishes off the enemy Astra. Still more work to be done. Forsaken's down the stairs, but this is going to cost him a significant amount of time.
Yeah, he's just going to need to swing at the last second, get that kill. But it might just work out. Oh no!
Okay, for a second, Munchkin could have got the headshot. It seemed like that would have been such a devastating loss, but Paper Rex, they will maintain dominance in these pistol rounds, now 3-1.
Clutch.
They will get up to 9.
Onyet still as a statue in that corner, and you just don't suspect it in the pistol round. Especially after, you know, the guiding light hits, you see one person flash, there's just no reaction, no spray, nothing else. And Gen.G thought they had it all. But the double kill stabilizes just enough. I was afraid that we saw the double team of Devi and something trying to go for the early peaks before Forsaken was able to arrive, but dwindling the numbers down just enough. And now double Outlaw.
Yeah.
They want to snowball as many rounds as they can, because listen, just one round here and then maybe another with all your ults online, and then you're close to the win.
I think one Outlaw, easy enough to read. Do you expect that there's going to be 2?
I mean, it's such a commitment too.
Forsaken looking for it. The shot whipping, but hey, he got 2 bullets.
Down mid.
Swings further out, finds Karon. And they still don't even know that something has one over in this A site, which is where they're about to start heading.
Yeah, the gate crash once again set up for A side as well. And it almost just feels like Forsaken gets some kind of armor when he tries to gate crash out. Always so good with it.
Something now. Ooh. Sends the shot, Devi pushing forward, able to find one, but runs out of bullets. Lakia is able to take him down. Need more damage from here, though. Let's start hurting Paper Rex a little bit more, but for now, loss of the Spectre not going to be too devastating as something. 2 bullets, 2 kills. Paper Rex get the double digits.
A lot of value off of this new weapon introduced here in 2024. And they can continue with it. Now, most people on Gen.G will have full armor, so it won't be as devastating as if they had, you know, all bought up to things like Marshals and Sheriffs, but with the shots that these players are able to hit. And this position on Devi, as soon as he knows that there's contact on ramp, he's been using that to really punish and just cut off a little bit of reinforcement. So Gen.G's gonna have to watch out for that.
Full stack from Gen.G, ready to send it here at A. Like something going to be going for the peak. Sends out one. It's a flash. Texture trying to chase in. Will get a good amount of damage through the wall, but now to swap over onto the shorty, but decides to pull back as that Trailblazer does come through. Shorty once again drawn out the push into the Cloudburst. Something finds the kill. Drops down on the top. Devi with the covering fire there on the Singer. Takes down Texture. Bagi, however, arriving. Comes up with 2. Monyet, backside, Judge in hand, finding them all. Oh, a bit of a stutter step, but it doesn't matter because Mind Freak arrives, comes out from screen. Paper Rex They're going to convert yet another bonus.
And they're bringing the chaos back. I love it. I mean, you just don't expect that, right? Sure, you see the outlaw, you chase it down. It did seem like Meteor was somewhat wary of the shorty standing by, but then you're trying to chase the backups there from Defy, and then you think you cleared it all. But yet still one more final boss behind the map. And now Paper Rex so close, and this Outlaw's going to continue to find value, and they've been doing this. They did it on Sunset against Gen.G as well. They just keep rolling with it.
Yep. This time he's way out in front. It'd be a hell of a shot to try to stop this one, but I mean, even covering fire there from something. So Moniette getting a piece. As Meteor will be taken down. Mid has been cleared out. Spike stranded in Ramen.
And the gate crashed back as well. And it's things like this that'll really start to make you question your understanding of the economy. Because obviously some rounds you just can't help it, but how many of those rounds are you willing to make happen? Because of course you might have your own set plays with some rifles, maybe with shotguns, things like that, but the moment you buy that half armor, it just feels bad. Got sight.
Yep. Saw enough of each other there, and Moniette wisely backing away and knows that a clean shot to the chest will take him down. So with the weapon recovered, we'll see if Munchkin can deal any additional damage here. Working his way up, but as he stands up, it's right into the crosshair, and Forsaken will be able to find Karen trying to enter in from garage. 12-4, Paper Rex. Clearly not flustered whatsoever with the loss on Ascent, feeling right at home with this triple duelist.
Yep, everyone putting up the numbers they need, playing the role that they need to. Obviously, some of these long-range duels really assisting the scoreline for Something and Forsaken.
One enemy remains.
But they're also kind of the main ones that are creating a lot of these distractions. I mean, now and then it's a division between that Jet and the Raze. But once it comes to that defense, just one more round is all they need. And now it's an Operator. They want to close this out as soon as possible.
Extra jump on the board, gets himself past that outlaw.
Toxin screen down.
Have the tempo to try to really rush in and take it down. They're also wary about that covering fire that could be there backing it up. But look at this line. Nebula coming in, all the timing just barely off to try to be able to find the kills. Flash still there. Ticket going to be taken out. But Mind Freak fighting one, Moniette getting the other. TP in the backside. Showstopper comes in. Moniette just blowing Karen to smithereens. Finds the kill. Munchkin on the rope somehow winning out that fight. But he's now got to rotate all the way around to his spot, and he doesn't get the opportunity. Something will finish him off. 13-4 in response to the 13-5 loss on Ascent. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a series on our hands. No 3-0s in sight.
We absolutely do. And I love the confidence that both teams are bringing out.
A Paper X game if you don't lose fast or win fast. I mean, that's just how they roll. It always ends super fast. Paper X does take map 2 in a dominant fashion. Gen.G, I don't think their team comp was really matched up for the triple duelist comp from especially a team like Paper X.
Yeah, there's nothing really to slow down the Paper X comp here, and they're just better at kind of this style of play, right? Yeah, you've got the double duelist here for the side of Gen.G, but they don't seem nearly as comfortable with the speed of play. The only thing you really have is Astra Gravity Wells, and just relying on that, it's not really that great against the Oru because he can TP out of there. You're not really catching anybody else, you know, because they're so maneuverable, they're so fast with the Jet and the Raze, so you're not getting a lot of value out of that pick. So definitely something that I think if there was more time for Gen.G, if they had the ability to really workshop this map a little bit more, they could have come in here with something different, but with how fast-paced they've had to play, with how they've had to play pretty much every day, I frankly think just not enough time to really try something different.
I completely agree. I think this would be a very different outcome if Gen.G had more time to prepare. That said, Paper X, I mean, they used this comp yesterday, and they also looked great.
works wonderful, especially on that attacking half. You saw how Forsaken makes use of that Yoru, basically like what Asterai said before, human recon dart. He just dives out, gate crashes away, gets information from a team, they come in and swing off of it, or Dimensional Drift, and it actually, you know, instills a bit of fear into players like Texture. If he's trying to off, suddenly Dimensional Drift is a foot and right in front of you, you start to feel a little bit shaken. And that happens for several rounds until Coach Solo calls 2 timeouts really early on, and then you start to see some adjustments coming in. They start to set up for retakes, they start to play, you know, really far back, and you really have to watch out for Gen.G's Guardians right now. The way that they shoot is so sharp sometimes that you actually see PaperX players kind of whiffing for a second or two. I mean, Karen's still a very, very outstanding player, really scary to play against. But then again, once you go into that second half, Monyet started to show up. Monyet started to have some crazy movements and ways to kind of hold down the site or play in that retake. So PaperX just making quick work of Gen.G for this one. But again, kind of like you said, Paper Thin just not having enough time to prep.
Yeah, I mean, Munchkin is so sharp, and that's the guy you're talking about on the Guardian. Even on an eco round, as long as he has a Guardian, he could turn the tides of a round. A couple of these wins here that they have were thanks to Munchkin just nailing them in the head on those rounds. And you know, I think there was a point where Alex called a timeout, probably because he noticed a lot of these two teams were just going into contact plays. There was no utility being used, and PaperX was just losing straight up to these 1v1 duels.
Yeah, this is something that Gen.G has excelled at throughout this entire kickoff, is they're really good in 1v1s. They're winning a lot of those battles. I mean, yesterday in the 2 maps against DRX, Munchkin had 11 First Bloods. I mean, think about that. He had 11 First Bloods. He's not the duelist. Like, he was all over the map, and that's something going into Lotus that I'm definitely a little bit concerned about for PaperX, is how they're going to deal with that very spread out style that Gen.G likes to run. Meteor and Munchkin like to lurk around the map, so you got to be aware of that. But I think Alex just said during that round that you were talking about, just like, guys, just deathball it, just stick together and just go, just come on now.
And now we're going to see Something versus Meteor stats instead of our 2 duelists. Something was starting to wake up a little bit. And you know what? I just miss seeing Something on the Gen. It's good to see it.
It's definitely fun. It's like when you see an old friend that you haven't seen in a year, and then he gives you a warm hug, and you're like, oh, I remember how this feels. That's really nice. And then he picks up the Outlaw, he starts shooting people, especially on that anti-eco, or the 3rd round that the PaperX played in that second half against Gen.G. It really shows that this Something is still around. He still has that shorty movement, still aggressive enough to dive into A heaven and wait inside of smokes as Gen.G tries to push against him. So if they can keep up this momentum, keep up this pace, it could look really great. I mean, Meteor had some of his moments as well, maybe not quite as outstanding, so there's that slight difference. But as we go into the next map, right, I mean, I still feel as though, like, PaperX aren't out of the woods. As a fan, I'm going to say that. Like, PaperX are not out of the woods yet, because this is a Gen.G that's starting to wake up. Meteor's going to go back onto that Killjoy Sentinel role. Their Guardians, their Sheriff shots, some thrifty rounds that Gen.G pulls off are still really, really freaking scary. And as an analyst, I will just say that I think Coach Solo really has something cooked up.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, just to recap the stakes here, whoever wins today, both of these teams are going to Madrid. Whoever wins gets those really valuable points to qualify them for Champions, which is back here in Korea this year. I can tell you right now, the audience, you stepped into there earlier. A lot of them are here for PaperX, but even more of them are here for Gen.G. Even yesterday, apparently, with all 3 Korean teams playing, a lot of people are actually supporting the underdogs, Gen.G.
Oh yeah, the Gen.G fans have really come out in force, and players like Munchkin that have been playing for a really long time across multiple different teams, multiple different regions, Meteor as well, you know, bringing a lot of those fans over, you know, from the hype that they were able to generate over in Japan in particular, now coming back to Korea, coming home, you know, all those fans have kind of coalesced around them. They are so loud out there right now. Like, I went down there for a second just to scope it out, and every time Gen.G was doing something good, it went bonkers.
Yeah, you looked really energized when you came back, and they were like, guys, it's crazy inside there right now, and I really wish I was down there. And while all Korea Valorant is here to witness the showdown, I know Southeast Asia's, you know, watch partying right now. Jing is watching this right now, so shout out to Jing and his mom on Team Pearl. Now, I'm sure they're really happy watching the split result.
It definitely looks great. Again, triple duelist, it's amazing, especially with how Forsaken plays and really pushes back Gen.G in some of these rounds. I think William was talking about it in the first half that so many times PaperX just kind of had free sights because Gen.G were, you know, respecting some of these maneuvers. Gen.G wanted to try to go in for some of these retake scenarios. There was like a lovely clutch from Mindfreak coming through as well against Karan of all things. Like Mindfreak is starting to, you know, wake up and come back to peak form again. That's the PaperX that we all know and love.
Yeah, I mean, Gen.G here just, you know, wasn't able to really play the style that they want. They can't really slow PaperX down at all, and, you know, they have to try to spread the map, and then they can't react to things as fast. I noticed, at least in my opinion, their rotations were rather slow. Their ability to gather information, not that great, even with Locky on that Sky. So things just not really playing into what you expect with the typical PaperX comp.
Yeah, and the typical PaperX comp, you know, you see those duelists, you see them bring out that firepower. As we go back in towards Lotus, that's something to think about.
Rematch.
Yes.
This is gonna be fun.
Oh, wait.
Oh, I like it. Yo, PaperX never disappoints. We were talking about this yesterday. You never know what you're gonna get when it comes to a PaperX comp.
He's hovering. I don't know if he's locking it in yet.
Is this it?
I don't know.
Little tease.
I think it's locked.
Tell us. It's gotta be.
I think this is it. I think this is it. I mean, why not?
He was Jet before, but if you go into Arena now, I have to think you're trying to play off of device flashes.
Yeah, exactly, right? You're trying to set up kind of those staggered, you know, Lear flash combos, things like that, that really can, you know, make things work really nicely for the side of PaperX. We've seen it on Ascent before, and I'm not too surprised that they're going to lean into this. I think maybe they felt like they needed a change versus the last time. Maybe something will give Gen.G a little bit of a different look, because Gen.G looked really good on this map last time.
I am so excited for this Lotus. It's going to be a brand new game for these two teams. We're going to go over to our casters. We're going to break it all down and talk about all the action.
Thank you very much. Here we are.
It's back.
It's back, the Reina, but a much different look for PaperX this time around. Still not opting to play this when it comes down to Ascent.
Yeah.
But now we go over to Lotus and they say, hey, you know what? Why not?
I'm curious how this is going to work, because I think one of the ways they were able to have, you know, decent success against Gen.G's Lotus the first time around was with the double duelists of Jet and Raze. You can just power your way through that Seaside setup. A lot of other teams have been having trouble with that. Now with the Reina, you basically have to send Monyet in on an island again if you want to go into that site. But of course, again, lots of flashes, lots of projectiles to distract when you're trying to go through the opponent's toxic screen.
Okay, looking for the creep across, but they do get the reveal there on a Munchkin, but he and Meteor together going to be able to hold the line, finding 2 kills. Forsaken trading 1 back, and now Texture arriving around from behind, but only gets the dink, doesn't find the eliminations. Good damage he is dealt. But Defy, with the heal available, can go ahead and just try to top them back up. So health will return up to 100. As for now, PaperX not really leaving the spawn.
Yeah, a little scared, especially with that deep push from Texture. And, you know, if you're a fan of Texture, I think he can be forgiven for showing a human moment across 8 days. Still consider him a bit of a demigod at that point. PaperX just cutting noise, trying to just make sure that they're not exposing themselves, trying to stay huddled, getting ready for these trades. Of course, with that PaperX team capsule as well on that classic. See if we can find some more success with it here for Defy.
Gen.G just looking to stay widely corralled together. We'll wait for that spike plant to come in before getting ready to execute. It seems like PaperX finally sufficiently happy that they are in the clear.
It's not as much utility for the retake, though, whereas PaperX, they have everything to push out if they get an inkling of Gen.G approaching close.
Well, they slow things down right before they would have gotten into audio distance. Things coming down. Trailblazer in the presence of at least 1 gnome, but they anticipate that all 3 players are going to be right around this corner. Flash comes in to try to slow things up. Munchkin taking a ton of damage through the box. Now down to 4 HP. Fight holds close. Smoke blooms. Munchkin still able to find 1 now. Locky going to be taken out, but a lot of this rests on Karan, who's now going to be revealed. The push up into the smoke. Munchkin gets himself the 4K. With 4 HP remaining, the fuse will come through. They're going to be even closer to that pit. And Gen.G will take this pistol round away.
What a monster. I thought PaperX had everything set up. They had the trip, they had the cam to make sure they spot so you don't have someone who's sneakily trying to go for the defuse. It was good. It was meant to keep Karan at bay, but Munchkin is just able to push through the smoke at the right time, catch a sight of Forsaken at the last minute. and picks him off through the smokes, feeding off the energy of the crowd here at the S Factory in Seoul.
Oh, but look at this. Paper X.
Oh, it's here.
Saw him going forward yesterday
Okay.
with a lot of success, but now the force buy coming back in once more. Gen.G, have they accounted for this? Well, they certainly know about it now.
Yeah, and they take down the Outlaw as well. That's one of the biggest difficulties. And what a great pick from Lakia.
Lakia just mowed him down on the entry. Spraying away, swapped over the weapon. Continuing to just pump bullets through that toxic screen. Mind Freak tagged up just a hair here. Answering back with some of that Bulldog fire, but so quickly shut down here is this force spy. It's Karan now saying, you know what? I like the Outlaw. I think I will use it.
I'll find a lot of value with it for sure. That's just a
Clearing
little
out
warning
the
shot.
Trailblazer. Swing in. Mind Freak gone. Texture still nearby. Spotting him, but 10 HP. They don't want to surrender any weapons. Reload will come through. They'll just back off.
Just trying to draw him in as backup arrives.
Okay, goodbye.
Texture a little scared. He's a little trapped with only 10 HP.
See the cam reaction there. Wasn't anticipating that one, but I mean, Devi, that's just really a question of how much damage can he deal, but just the one kill is all it's going to be as Gen.G taking the first 2 rounds here on Lotus.
It's a good start, and I am curious. I mean, sure, going for a curveball on the force spy, it can work, but when you're going up against the likes of a Viper, a Raze, a Killjoy, where you can just get so much chip damage done to you before you even reach the site, surely Paper X will reconsider that in the future against other teams, or maybe even if they face Gen.G once again, as this is a map that Gen.G has felt very confident on throughout this entire kickoff.
Now just going to be the Sheriff buy coming in here from Paper Rex. Paranoia sent their way. Paint Shell's just driving them out and over towards Meteor, who's got the Outlaw in hand. Finds 2 kills, just a classic for the backup here. And not really anybody to try to bail him out. Munchkin now arriving, but they already managed to push forward and take him down. Weapon is grabbed. Munchkin finding him, looking for more. Forsaken swapping back over to the Sheriff. Going to be good. Just pick up yet another kill here. It was swiftly shut down by Lakia.
I know Paper X has been on weaker weapons the past 2 rounds, but Gen.G's movement around the map have been very quick. The moment they get contact, they are able to shove Paper X out of the other side of the map and just tighten the chokehold onto Lotus. I mean, they are not approaching these sites at all in these 2 rounds, and if that's the comms that we're going to continue to see, Gen.G should be able to go right back up to 2 points. And the Meteor calling for the Outlaw, really wants to continue using that. I mean, it's a good pickup for the Killjoy as well, right? I mean, we've seen some of the pros talk about it. The turret, the nano swarm, everything, even the alarm bot assisting for those one-shot kills. Gen.G's ready for this.
Something trying to rush in. Does manage to catch Karan by surprise. Gets a kill on the Texture as well. Takes a dismiss back in towards Streak. Mind Freak covering fire. Comes up with 2 more, and suddenly it is just Meteor by himself.
It is nice to see the dismiss be a work of art once again. It's creating such a distraction.
Just right up here against the smoke. Here's the run forward. Instant headshot for Meteor, but let's go now. Pull back. Wait for the reload. Sheriff in hand. Spike now planted. Trailblazer at the ready here. On the hunt, seeing what he can spot. So far, it's just the turret. Meteor managing to avoid getting detected here. He's going to push downstairs. The double swing could be brutal for him. Spots 1. Oh, worked down at 12 HP. So snaps over, finds him, looks for the shot. Barely misses. 4 bullets remaining in the Sheriff. Time dwindling. Meteor, can he do the impossible? The tap onto the spike, trying to see if he gets any aggression out of Devi whatsoever. But Devi, stalwart, stays still, gets the kill. But good lord, so much damage dealt here, and he will barely survive, knowing the limitations of that spike explosion.
Man, I was worried when he stood still for a second there, because Meteor's goal was clearly just take down all the weapons, because we will continue to stride ahead. I'm real scared when Meteor got the first shot, but this is why you use Arena. If you're able to get those first kills, create that aggro, and then the rest of your team can follow up once again at a cross angle. And Gen.G, they'll have to keep note of that. You cannot hunt for something like the Reyna anymore.
Satchel out.
Still not in a fully comfortable spot. Plenty of half armor out here, but it's for their sake on Paper X. No Outlaw on the opposite side. So there are some very critical ultimates available for Gen.G. Lakia working his way downstairs. Smoke about to dissipate. Pulls back around the corner. His texture being posted up on a very deep angle. Just knowing that this is everybody stacked up on the A side here for PRX.
A lot of damage onto Divide through the wall there as he tried to take that orb.
Spamming. Karon now sending out that paranoia. Massive connection, but something not caught by it. Managing to find the cover and kill. Now the neural theft infested. Meteor just hanging out backside. Slocky pulling up the angle right as they go swing again. Eye cleared out. Monyet coming up with one. Lakia pushing forward, but he's full blind. The classic from Monyet with that vulnerability as well. Going to allow to get the elimination and texture. But the operator can do nothing more but sit back, maybe try to find an exit frag, but needs to hold on to this op.
You know, I was just thinking about it as Divide was trying to go for that ult orb as well. With the Reyna now, you've got 3 agents on the side of Paper X who don't really rely on their ultimates too much. You're not really looking at those ultimates to turn an entire round, on its head. Sure, neural theft does help a lot if you're able to get the first kill. But outside of that, and yes, the Reyna with the Empress can go for some insane clutches, a lot of aggro, but again, not things you're building set plays around. And it's curious that they're using that on a map like Lotus where you can try to greed for those ult orbs on the attack. Maybe just trying to say that we want to go up slowly up to the site, just like they did on A, ignore that C site that has been difficult to break through against Gen.G's setup, and continue to play around that revolving door with things like the Leer.
Paper X. Right back on the saddle here. Looking to catch up as they've dealt a significant amount of damage here to the economy on the side of Gen.G. Operator obviously still held over from texture, but the rest of the buy likely going to be some sheriffs, maybe. A force up on something like a Marshall. I'll just wait and see what they have, but very nicely taken. And okay, looks like a hero rifle in the hands of Meteor.
Yeah, do you want to support that operator at least one way or another? Make sure you don't go into rounds back to back to back where you're just trying to save it.
Needs all the support he can get, because right now, once again, Paper X looking to just send it over towards A.
Yeah, the showstopper this time, it can be even quicker going in through tree.
Nightfall at the ready. Lakia, ooh. Tap here, to the door, but what a great headshot. Finds one, but Mind Freak answering back in kind. Helps take down texture before that op find any value. Now some 3 players left, and Munchkin caught, trying to work his way down rope. Creep in, spotted. Meteor actually tucking below the spray there of something. Avoids it, but eventually is sussed out. Ends up falling, and now it's down to Karon to see if he can deal any additional damage here. And he can. Finds the headshot. Now in a 1v2. Fine. Nice. Gonna stop him before he can start heating up. Paper X tie us up 3-3.
Karon once again proving though that he's not a guy that you can underestimate. I mean, that was really anybody's shot there if they kept coming out one by one by one. So keep your eye on that new recruit. We've had so many successful new recruits here at VCT Pacific as we watch them grow even just within the past week of kickoff. But obviously Karon, one of the brightest shining stars as he has already reached the finals, going for that Royal Road here. Now the Odin. And we're piecing together the true Paper X one piece at a time. We've got the Reyna, we've got the Odin.
Now they're very well aware of this. Want to try to back away. Take some safer positions outside of the A site. Munchkin setting down that bite. Lear going to be cleared out. Just delaying the Trailblazer for a bit. Dive in should clear that close left side.
The Nanoswarm still here. That's been the real bane of it. The Poison Cloud into the Nanoswarm, and just one Snakebite still on hold. That's good enough. No one's biting that Shadow Step. There's still 2 members in the side of C, and Paper X is not exactly aware of that.
I mean, it's effectively 3 players here. You still have Lakia lingering around Waterfall. Tap onto the door. We'll make him rotate maybe back over towards this B site, but for now it is going to be Karon who's looking to intercept all of this aggression that's coming through. To the blast packs forward. Monyet gets himself around a back rubble. Shots exchanged. Karon getting the worst of it. Now down so very low on HP. 2 health remaining for him as Mind Freak TP's in a drop.
Mind Freak's been hit.
Prowler not scouting him though. So as he swings out, he finds one. Karon somehow coming away with a headshot. Does manage to shut him down. Now the shift. Paper X working their way over towards C. The Nanoswarm's the alarm bot still available. Karon as well, also going to be TPing over.
He just wants to buy time. It doesn't matter if he's low on health. The Nanoswarm should be enough to help him peek out just one more time.
12 seconds remaining. Spike still being brought forward into the site. Handed off now to Monjet. Swing onto the corner, in towards Waterfall. Something finding one, but Texture quick to reply, but there's the Odin spray. Texture will go down. Now it's all on Munchkin. Clears out the cam, but displacing this Odin is going to prove to be a pain in the rear for him. To jump up, Monjet in a high ground position. And a little bit of damage there. I mean, Forsaken knocked down to 6 HP. This is still such a rough task for Munchkin.
Such a strain. Yeah, you have to save. I mean, maybe looking for that early kill, knowing that you might have gotten the tags. Maybe see if you can take down the op, bring it back. But outside of that, it's Paper Rex finally gaining some momentum.
Gonna be taking the lead here. For the first time on Lotus. Gen.G just continuously getting knocked down time and time again when it comes to this economy.
But that's sometimes where they thrive. So I don't know if you can really count them out just yet. But the calls have been good for Paper Rex. Yes, they were cutting it close. I won't say that rotation was necessarily very well calculated. But of course, you know, the push onto the site, drawing them all the way over because of the From the Shadows. Him getting that kill onto Lakia really sells it all the way to the end. Forces Gen.G to have to commit. Karon saves it, because if he doesn't get the kill there, surely it just ends on the A site right away. But outside of that, it's Paper Rex just saying immediately, okay, we still don't know exactly how many more have arrived just yet. We don't have anyone in the site to help with the pinch. That's the call to rotate over. And of course, you can see Coach Alex also not entirely happy, as it has been a close map here on Gen.G's pick.
Doing a lot of talking. Solo here doing some listening, allowing for the secondary coaches as well to get involved.
Yeah, and I want to give a good shout to HSK as well. We all know Solo from his New Turn days, but HSK also kind of from that era and squad alongside Solo and Termi from the old days. And now, after finishing his military service, a lot of the Korean pros were wondering if he will enter Valorant, if he'll enter as a pro, if he'll come back as a coach. He had a very brief stint as a player, and then a disastrous first year as a coach last year on the squad of DFM and VCT Pacific. And just building doubt amongst the entire global community. And he comes in and builds this squad, taking down DRX, taking the title of Korean Kings, and now looking to take it over for Pacific.
Turn out.
Here.
See if that takeover can start here on the round, where Paper Rex are going to be able to stretch the lead. Spike still not looking great. Spray through, Texture hanging far enough back to not get clipped by anything. As Meteor with that Marshall for shot, going to go wide. Swing out from Munchkin as well. Not finding purchase. 2 kills picked up here for Divide. Now the Trailblazer into the site. Try to scout. Karon around the corner is going to be noted over at Waterfall. Something wants to push the issue. Full flash into his face. Shorty claims the kill. Nice and easy setup as Paper Rex way out in front here on the round.
Yeah, turning that corner with the Shorty, knowing that it's going to be shorter guns here for Gen.G. That's just some heads up, classic something maneuver. And this is a good round to abuse that C site, knowing that they're going to have weaker weapons, weaker utility. Plant that seed of doubt that the C site can always be struck.
Hello.
Whoa. Well, that's a nice track.
Nice one indeed. Lakia still in a really rough spot. Will not be able to hold on to the Vandal, not be able to do any additional damage. 4 players strong here. And plenty of cash is something is working out those legs. The squats are coming in.
Yeah, a little bit of a rumble from the crowd. Of course, you know, the Korean fans, no strangers to it, thanks to particular members on DRX. Won't name any names, but nice to get a little bit of that rivalry going. You can see just how tough it's been for both of these squads. I mean, Paper X usually all just laughing and enjoying the game regardless of the scoreline, and right now they don't want to lose that title. They also, obviously, both teams looking to get the higher seed at Madrid as well.
Higher seed, but also championship points on the line. As they try to go Odin v Odin, and it will be Forsaken getting the worse end of it, but still relatively healthy. And Divide, of course, with the heals, could just hop back up to 100. Tap on the orb, something checked close. Poison orb obfuscating as much as possible, as the Lear now going to be sent in.
They heard the Prowler in B as well.
I'm getting the reveal, but Meteor not spotted. Quick little jump peek, checks down below, Nightfall crashing across, Trailblazer coming in from behind though, Meteor noted, taken down, Monjet trying to get through
Spike down.
to falling, and now the pit going to be invested. Texture at the same time, finding Mindfreak, but Munchin gone. The pit instantly dropping as Devi brings it down, off shot from something, whipping a pit. He re-peeks, and Karen has to swing back. Showstopper in the ready. Is he ready for him to be close? Yes, he is. Texture taking him down, but now dead as the paint shells come flying through. Devi forced back. Him versus Karen. Both players having been so clutch for their teams in the past, and Karen will be able to get the kill. Had the HP advantage, gets it. Gen.G will stop this round win streak that we saw from Paper Rex. It was 5 consecutively. They keep it close.
Here.
You know, I just thought maybe Paper Rex would try to sell this as much as possible, draw out that Nightfall, and rotate back over to B. They still had time, they still had Mindfreak on B, because again, this C site has just been a wall against their opponents for Gen.G, and they are pushing them into that C site. They're doing everything they can to force him out there.
Let's jump forward. Texture likely noted, yep, has been spotted. Has to try to blast back his way out to safety. Does manage to do so. Avoiding all this forward aggression that we're seeing as the push it comes in and something.
How does he do it?
Continues to blood forward towards these operators and find the kills. Lockyer flushed out, Forsaken with the elimination. Managing to find it. Neural Theft hitting the spot. The instant headshot into the spray down. Mindfreak eliminates Meteor. And just like that, Paper X say, okay, you want to stop our win streak, we're just going to hound you down.
It's just unfair that Paper X has this hidden card that they can use against operators, and it's simply called something. He just swings out, takes down the scope every single time.
Push forward, Judge able to find one. Monyet needs to be the one to wide swing in to try to save them here. Dink is going to be found, but 20 HP in. Karen off in Narnia. I think much else is going to be found here for Gen.G. Paper Rex is going to be keeping them at an arm's length distance.
Oh, they want this kill. I mean, he's not that close to his ultimate. Credits are running very dry. I mean, absolutely dry for Karen. So Paper Rex just trying to snowball whatever they can. That's the confidence they have. Now reaching that 6 on the scoreboard, they would like nothing more than to extend it at least to that 7. Feel a bit more comfortable going into the second pistol.
Gosh, laser guided.
Yeah. Not much more to break down on that one.
Here.
Oh. Something on the arena. Delivering once more.
There.
Another weak buy for Gen.G, and that's when Paper Rex look to C-Site once again. I mean, they always start to try to shake things up. The problem is there's so much utility to try to get through before you sell the fake. But now they know it's a weak buy. You don't need to sell it. You can just commit to it.
Haven't spotted that Nanostorm quite yet. We're fishing for it. It looks like something, he says, I'll just heal it back up.
Yeah.
Let's get a kill, and then I'll just, go ahead and use a Devour.
That sounds like a good counter to the
Big
Nanostorm.
space on the side, Lockyer spotted, there's the dismiss, takes himself out to safety. Meteor finding one, finding two, Karen getting involved, gets another. And now suddenly it's just Mindfreak and Forsaken. Mindfreak still rotating over, the cam goes in, tries to get the dart out. I believe he actually whipped. Comes up onto the box, finding this one elimination. Mindfreak now put into a 1v1. Meteor swinging out, down so low, 7 HP from him. Just kind of toying around with Mindfreak, who's now going to drop down off the box.
Meteor solo. Mindfreak has to know this.
I mean, he knows exactly where he is. It only took one bullet. The fadeaway shot finally will find him. The damn close, but Gen.G just not as reliably able to find the thrifties here today. Paper X counteracting them nicely.
I was going to just be blown out of my mind if they got that thrifty once again, because this was a, again, very targeted execute onto the C site. And it's just a classic blood, even with the Nanostorm, like you said, just fully confident that they can overpower him. But it wasn't as easy as Paper X thought it would be.
Certainly not, but just given the bank, I mean, they've been fine, for this half.
Showstopper, I would love to see some other way to break this setup on C site. No one's done it successfully so far in Pacific.
And Meteor in a far forward spot. Poison Orb does give it an opportunity to maybe rotate up on top of the side itself, back away and get into a position where that lockdown could find value.
That's already both guiding lights gone, by the way, for Paper X.
Just popping them off the rip. Now going to be relying on those Leers. Showstopper does come in. That's going to be Lockyer dead, but he managed to get Mindfreak. That last shot going off right before he gets taken down. Could be everything for them.
You just got to hope that the Empress comes in big for something.
Lockdown still held. The creep up.
One
Clear out.
enemy
Something
remaining.
swings the corner, but no, not going to come into play. Monyet now. Everything to do, and as he tries to get himself up onto the site, Munchkin nails the headshot. Last round of the half going the way of Gen.G, 7-5. Scoreline separating the teams.
And this is where the trouble is going to begin for Paper X, because sure, when you're on the attack, you can throw all those blinds alongside the guiding light, the leers, the paint shells, everything to distract him. But on defense, yeah, you can do it, but if they don't meet you where you throw that utility initially, that retake is looking nigh impossible. And it's a great idea against, the enemy Viper, try to break through that toxic screen even with the decay, just kind of eat that disadvantage and go through it. But again, Gen.G, after a couple of rounds, surely, if that's the style that Paper X brings, they read into it and they hold back, and Paper X just won't have much to work with on the retakes.
20 more seconds to gather their thoughts as we get ready to swap sides and see how Gen.G is going to be faring on this attack now. Paper X making this look a bit more like an international Lotus rather than a Pacific one.
That's true. Keeping it on the side that it should be. Pacific's always had these weird tendencies across a lot of the maps, quite frankly.
We'll see, though, if they can maintain the dominance here on that defending side and how they're going to be piloting this Reyna.
A big part of it, you have to imagine, is you push them out on one side, funnel him into Forsaken setups, as he's always been so good with the Cypher, especially once he gets the Odin. So Gen.G, if they can shut that down early, they should have a lot more breathing room.
There.
So far, I mean, the biggest achievement really here for Paper X has been just denying Texture from finding value.
Caution here.
Karen as well, both of them down there at the bottom of the scoreboard for the side of Gen.G. We'll see if that changes now that they go to the attack, but with Texture not finding nearly as much value, Paper X got to be feeling pretty cozy.
Turrets destroyed.
Okay, turret noting one. Meteor trying to break line of sight, makes it around the corner just in time. Now re-swings.
Yeah, should have caught sight of multiple as well.
He's going to continue to hold decently close here. Sheriff shot's not connecting yet as there's the jump forward, but Munchkin with the covering fire, hoping to find the elimination. With Paranoia, Munchkin coming up huge. Texture in the meantime, taking out Forsaken to take on the Divide. The full rotate around from the back, might not be finding value here for PRX. Nade goes forward, Texture finds the enemy sky. It's going to be a flawless pistol round for Gen.G.
Well, the Gen.G marketing team smiling on that one as the Gen.G Classic comes out on top over Paper X's. But it's a good call from Gen.G. They realize that Paper X is just not stopping at anything, and they just say, hold, stop, turn around, just one person watch out for the peek out from whoever is anchoring on A. We will meet them right here on Rubble. A very different look of the Rubble fight, but a Rubble fight nonetheless. And good shots from Munchkin. He's feeling that confidence once again. Back on top of the scoreboard as the IGL for Gen.G.
No force buy this time around. Paper X just going to see if they can try to get a Thrifty done naturally. Just that Sheriff here in the hands of Divide. Once again, everybody overall on that C site.
You can just tell exactly the positions they're holding on the minimap as well, just stacked on top of each other at close range. Yeah, at least get that ult orb. I like the timing of it. But that's all they'll get, quite frankly. Haven't been as successful as Gen.G on these Thrifties, so not going to hold my breath too much on this one.
You say that, I'm thinking about yesterday. On Ascent, crazy one that they were able to close out, basically just classics. Forsaken will be able to find one kill, but Lock here with the Guardian, putting it to good use, finding now 3, looking for the 4th, find free, will take him down. Any more than that would have been a big cause for concern for Gen.G, but they'll hold on to the most expensive weapons, upgrade it to some Sheriffs as well, and tie things up at 7-7.
Yeah, considering the circumstances, Paper X, you did what you could, got a couple extra ult points. That's all you were going to get, especially coming out of that choke point over by Baby Door. But now the real question is that Odin is going to take a little bit. Wow.
Okay, Lakia.
There's something about Lakia. He just hides his power until Texture needs a break. And then he just rises to the top. Has some impressive multi-kills on a lot of these maps. Some good acrobatics as well.
Nade going forward. Turning C's coming out, it's Mind Freak, they're swinging out the door. Monyet, however, going to be able to find an opening kill. Texture going to be taken down, Lockie as well. Found Parent on that swing, able to get a connection. No HP bar on something, he'll back away. Fly doesn't have the healing. With no charges either, something's stuck at 20.
Bot coming back. Recalling my bot.
Not quite the situation Paper X would like, where they're trying to absolutely win the round, turn things around. They don't really feel like they have a numbers advantage, so they'll stick 2 people together still. Forsaken
So
just
close.
watching B and C.
So close to tracking him
Here.
through that smoke.
Last player standing.
Defy will be able to find him. Now it's all on Meteor.
Placing alarm
1v3.
bot.
Alarm bot going to be set up. Spike is in hand. He wants a challenge for a kill first.
Exactly. He wants to dwindle the numbers down, and he knows, he should know something is low.
Well, push out. Okay, Device swinging in. Dead. Lear now going to be cleared out. Something. Again, just chipped away at. Now they're looking for the double push. Can't even get the one somehow. Something dodging out those bullets. Keeps himself alive. Hopes to save the round here for Paper X.
Something swings, you know, his swings have been just so good, whether it's against the Scopes, whether it's against the Rivals. 20 HP, and to be able to get that last kill. They're even running forward as the person who's supposed to be. Had a great dismiss amidst that chaos and rubble to keep the aggro going. And again, that's why you pick the Reyna. Now, we've seen it try time and time again. Of course, as always, it gets shut down once you can't get that first kill. But in a team like Paper X, it'll work.
Look at Devi though. Glass cannon.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, no armor. Just the cash right now. The situation not looking good for them. They want to be able to have those full rifle in his hand, I suppose, instead of going for something like a bulldog. Texture wanting to grab that orb, but the camera is enough to dissuade.
Going for that no armor, just trying to get some extra damage, and I think they're really trying to feed something these kills, make sure that they can go for the trades. But that means they're banking a lot on this round to try to win out the map.
Here.
It's back over towards the safe site, already begun. Meteor pushed up just outside of B, alongside this trap wire. Clears it now, so Monyet made aware. Just gonna go back and away. Mind Freak trying to swing out, but Karen finding the headshot. Shoots down the enemy Omen. Paranoia now. Not gonna be in this retake attempt. Forsaken goes sliding down, gets himself situated over a drop. Pushing forward ahead of his own trap wire, up against the Cyber Cage, and as it drops, he tries to get that transfer. Nearly had it. Karen will answer it back. Him in the lead. Paranoia now going to be sent out, connecting on a Monyet as he pulls away. Something starts swinging in behind, over baby door, which now is going to be broken.
Still in sight.
The Lear down, Munchkin still. Sights turned over towards where the spike is at, but it doesn't even matter. Karen finds one, Texture gets the other two. And GEN.G tie it up at 8-8.
GEN.G, I don't know if they calmed it ahead, if it's just built in to their protocols, whatever it might be. They did not all turn to shoot down the Lear. They knew exactly what each other's jobs were, and this is where this team starts to get scary. All of them have the ability to shoot back, pick up those kills on those trades. So as long as you're not all distracted by the same thing, you are usually going to win out on these fights. Very good post-plant setup from GEN.G, and that'll draw the timeout, especially with that buy. Paper X doubling down on that 16th round. Now they'll have to take a bit of a breather.
For the life of me, I mean, Munchkin just riding the line, standing right outside that door, trusting in Karen to be able to get the kill.
Yeah.
Ends up working out. 8-8. So, timeout called here from Paper X. One apiece burned so far in the map. See more can be utilized. Alex wanting to just make sure that they're not letting this slip away from them. GEN.G trying to get the win here, take this all the way up to that match point.
Wonder if GEN.G is going to suspect a different default setup here and maybe try to go for something like a B push, because I would have imagined that one of the things Paper X can try, of course, I guess this one's going to be an eco, but outside of it, will be to try to really push out from one side, hold their defender spawn entry points with 2 people, and then go for the retake with something like the spy cam. We'll see if it comes to fruition in the next buy round, but for this one, just the singular Outlaw. And it, of course, Outlaw on the other side to really abuse the econ situation as well.
Tucked behind the box, Haunt not going to get the reveal there on a Forsaken. And oh, shots go flying. Texture low, swaps over the Classic, easy to confirm the kill. Munchkin, however, finding one. Heron situated forward.
Player standing.
Trying to hold the line, but I mean, it's another blink and you miss it around. As Gen.G very swiftly dealing with what limited firepower Paper Rex had.
You know, Munchkin's been hitting amazing shots throughout this tournament, but if you look carefully, a lot of it is, again, that experience shining through, just knowing how these trades are set up, how the crossfires are set up, going for those pre-fires. That's how he's so snappy. A lot of times he's correct. That's how he gets these 17 kills so far in the 17 rounds, leading by example.
Careful.
Now the operator in hand for something, and the Odin. I mean, they desperately needed this. We'll see if it works.
And yet again, rushing forward, trying to get a catch. Let's get pinged by the Haunt. Ultimately, there's no one there to find. Everybody from Gen.G. Hand out on this left side of the map. As Prowler goes and checks forward, nothing going to be spotted. Texture is going to be leading in. Cam's still set up here from Forsaken.
Oh, they
now going
find
to be
it.
spotted. Clear out on the dart, and wisely does back down. It's not a default plan. It's just off to the side, and now the pin is going to be invested as well from Gen.G.
Seekers are on the way. Something gets a nice opening kill through the door, though.
You're gone, Aaron. Trying to hold things close, and something goes bouncing forward with that dismiss. Now Device swinging back out. Able to find him. Showstopper in. Texture finding one, but Monyet with a nice headshot equalizes. Gives this advantage over to PRX. Munchkin take it out. Pit now going to drop lock. You spam down. Will be eliminated, and Paper X very nicely will tie us up once more at 99, just trying to stay inseparable.
I cannot imagine having to play against Paper X in any capacity. Not that that's ever going to happen in my career, but the chaos that they bring, just the way they use the Odin, and you see this with a lot of teams that use the Odin often, is that more often than not, it's not even suppression fire to keep them kind of zoned in. It's just this distraction in the audio, really muffling everything up, just trying to make sure they don't know where to look, that they can't find the other tracers, and you just don't know where else you can move. You keep them pinned in, frozen like deer in the headlights, and that's the retake for Paper X.
Reset of the blast back to jump forward. Monyet and Texture both racing over towards Rubble. Gonna be able to find one apiece, but now Texture doubling up, finds himself another elimination, but somehow Device doesn't get that kill. Texture. This Rhea just finds the elimination. I cannot believe my eyes. Something now with everything to do, but Texture is so hungry for it. Won't be able to get himself an ace. Munchkin, he will take that kill away. But good God, it feels like Texture just bailed Gen.G at the start of a round that they had no right to win.
And that's the composition coming to play once again against Paper X. I mean, if you're going to have the Reyna, ideally you want something like the Lear that can really help you push up against that toxic screen. But without that, Monyet. Oh no, not again. That's deja vu. Just give this man his ace, man.
Happened yesterday on Vine. It happens here today. Again, I mean, Texture is just, he just is a content mill. It's just GIF reactions.
Oh, and
Solo with
smiling.
a very rare smile.
He's very happy with it. It's got to be something that he's hearing in the comments, right? Reactions like that, knowing that your players are kind of feeling good, able to joke with each other despite it being a very tight game, and knowing that your players had the right read in that last round to bounce back. I mean, Solo looked so nervous coming into kickoff, and I can't imagine, with the pedigree that you have as a player, people globally looking at you as a legend for Asian FPS, and then, I mean, quite frankly, tanking your stocks quite a bit as a coach when you first started over on D+. Now saying, I'll take one more shot, be the figurehead here, be the grand leader for Gen.G alongside HSK, and really guide these players who are just looking for one more chance to prove themselves, and he's seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And now another absolutely broken buy. A judge for something, buying down to 850. Sure, it's the Reyna. You can always kind of try to rely on that half armor, but the Outlaw is in the hands of Meteor. Don't know if something's going to account for that.
Showstopper at the ready from Monyet. They feel that they can get this into a winnable position. We very well could see that pulled out. Try to turn the tides. For now, Gen.G taking things very cautiously. Spamming boxes, checking corners.
And it's just going to be a stack. No early rubble fight. Paper X just saying, this is the best shot we got. Again, you got to take your chances when you're on these broken buys, these ecos.
Tap on the door, something on the opposite side of the box, not going to be spotted. As Meteor, he's pushing into this one, but he's got the Outlaw. Something says hello.
Now he can open the door.
Snatches up the weapon. He's going to look for it, gets the shot there into Munchkin, putting him down 10 HP, but Munchkin again with a nice headshot. At least trade this one back, with the door getting opened once again. PaperX reading a rotation. How far forward do they want to try to push here? Looks like Forsaken wanted to maybe get posted up top of A over at Rope to try to put this Outlaw to
30
use.
seconds left.
Yeah, they don't spawn anyone B main either, so he's gonna have a shot, but he's a little shaky with it.
Just on the opposite sides of Munchkin's legs, cannot find the connection there. Munchkin somehow still in this fight. Paranoia in cross back sight. Mind Freak getting clipped by that for now. HL's sent his way. Showstopper up close and personal. Monyet putting it at the feet of Block. Yeah, taking them down, but yeah, time is ticking. Mind Freak swinging around, but now caught off guard. Distinction comes in from the side. Spike gets planted. The jump shot there from Devi. Good for one. Karon quickly shuts it down. 11-9. Gen.G 2 rounds away from moving up 2-1 in this series.
It's a Hail Mary from PaperX, but one that was worthy just because of the timer. And Mind Freak had gotten just one kill up into that tree a bit earlier and really shut that down. But Texture's just so fast with the reaction, peeking back out right at the 5-second mark. So Munchkin had a little bit more to share just to make sure they can close out this map. And they're ready for it. Showstopper online for Texture.
Smoke down, aggressive push out of B. Just to clear the turret for now. You're back away, avoiding that aggression as Munchkin, the lone operative now. Taking quite a bit of space over at A. Seems like wants to see what the rest of the team can report as far as the setup here on B. The smoke as well going to be coming out of Mind Freak. Both of those now on cooldown.
You just have the double tripwires right up close to the entrance here for Forsaken. It's a bit of a gamble, especially with the Raze, who has a showstopper.
I spotted him. No movement here from the PRX camp. Not necessarily believing that this is going to be a stack.
Careful here.
Oh man, it was a double for the jump. I thought it was one above, one below, but you really want to take down the showstopper. Forsaken has the read that that's going to be the execute. You know the ult's online.
And Munchkin dead. Something finding him as he tries to cut across to the rest of the team, and there it is. The trapwire coming through, has the reveal, but the Haunt also finding Forsaken as he tries to backpedal, get himself out to safety. Rocket, he goes too deep. Kill not going to be
30
found.
seconds left.
Meteor dueling with something.
Monyet finding one, trying to push back up. Take some space here on the side. Lockya able to shut it down. Forsaken creeping back out from Waterfall, but angle watched. Karon finding in. Lockya trying to go for the plant, but just baits the Vine forward. Finds the kill. Now, all on something. Heel rolling. They interrupt the plant again, passing it now over to Karon. Lockya looking to hold the corner, swings back around, puts him low, puts him down to 21. Spike planted. No leers, no dismisses, no nothing. As the Haunt goes out, something now revealing himself. Another smoke invested. He's looking for the cross. He's trying to get the headshot, but he cannot. Karon stands tall. 12-9, Gen.G now at map point.
Lockya with the mind games, running across the screen one last time before being to make sure that something doesn't have the opportunity to disrupt the plant. And yeah, it's back-to-back rounds where it got dicey with the timer, but Gen.G keep their calm. I mean, PaperX had some decent setups here. It's unfortunate that Forsaken not able to get that initial kill.
Blow something up.
Bold call to shift that spike over as well. So few seconds left. Want to make sure that they can try to get it planted down, but now PaperX looking to fight fire with fire. Something finding one. Mind Freak getting Texture. I mean, it's just a quintessential PaperX round. The one we now find ourselves in a 1v2.
Yeah, you still have all your setups for Cypher on the other site, so just stay doubled up. That's the game plan for PaperX. Surely they'll just hold that rubble. Not sure if they'd be curious enough to push all the way through this toxic screen.
Munchkin wanting to go to B. Trapwire is there.
Toxin screen down.
Destroys it. Just going to be a plant here into the open. Does he get to read that this is going to be approached from main? No bites to speak of. Just way in the top B. Flush against the wall.
He's going to want to pop that poison cloud. Yeah, try to act like he might be hiding in the smoke as well. Just some extra distractions. We'll see if it works.
Smoke comes down. Here's one. Poison now coming down, and they're just holding for this one. The spray, it gets him off the defuse for a moment. As Mindfreak swings back out of the smoke, he's able to collect the kill. Paper X hanging on by a thread. As they decide who wants to defuse it.
Yeah.
If there's any weapons they need to try to recover. PRX, they keep themselves in this game. 2 rounds to try to take us into overtime.
You just know it's a good match so far when we have back-to-back in these rounds where the double left just have really good teamwork. You see Forsaken sticking it and then goes for the spray first, gives the chance for Mindfreak to pop out as Munchkin is distracted trying to fire back against the Tracers. Small things like that really make the difference between a clutch and just a standard 2v1 victory. Now the Odin for Lakia really trying to bully their way and punish Paper X for pushing out aggressively.
Seekers at the ready here from Devi as well. Once again, I mean, they're looking to take the fight again over at A, but Gen.G saying, we didn't like how that went for us. No, we're not gonna try to challenge into it again.
But that's all of Rubble cleared, A main cleared. I mean, you could just leave one person holding here and you have the entire map figured out.
Here.
At least for now, especially considering the trap wire is still set up. Double push in towards B now. Paper X expecting that this is just gonna be a pile into the site.
Oh, this is good from Gen.G, though. Before the 1 minute mark, they're going to reclaim some control. They heard the footsteps, it sounds like. Munchkin making that call immediately. Now they know
Prowler to check. Double push out, turn for the flash. Meteor. Himself safe for now. Now Monyet going to be taken down, stuck into the corner. Meteor trying to survive, but cannot. Ends up falling. That's that potential lockdown now taken away from them. But if Gen.G get to the site, they still do have that pit that Munchkin can invest.
And Devi going to be looking to use those Seekers, but you're going to have to give up the site for now, so it has to be used to try to attack through the pit.
Everest, 25% remaining.
Oh,
as the spam starts coming through, trying to prevent the grab on the door, but something finding the kill. The one tap through the smoke finds Karen, and now spots him out. What is that retake?
Oh my God! I thought only Forsaken was close enough to follow up against the Seekers through the pit.
Overtime.
But as soon as they go through the site, as soon as they figure out everyone's next to the door, they take the gamble, open it, hold the doubles right around the revolving door, and something just with the one taps, the dismiss end of the site to get them vision.
I mean, good God! What? And then just scouts, and there's just nothing more to be done. Timeout now called, and we'll see. It is going to be from the Gen.G camp. This one was very much up in the air as far as who could be. Oh, never mind. Paper X called the second one. I didn't write it down. My bad.
I mean,
I thought they still had one.
You know, Paper X, yeah, I think they used it a little bit early on in the second half, but I mean, it's been tough from both sides. The real crazy part here is I think that had to have been off of the Seekers. Just kind of keeping track of that. Whatever it was, a one tap is just filthy from something, and it's what's gonna maybe give them this chance for the overtime. Now, lockdown still available on the side of Gen.G. They didn't have that ready to go as Meteor was taken out on the flank, and that's something that Paper X will look to do again, cutting off the lurk nice and early. So I wonder if Gen.G, do they just go for a rush this time around? You have the Nightfall as well, just push through, then put up the lockdown on the post plant. It's an option. It looks like it will be it.
Immense amount of options here for Gen.G. And one that, you know, if you dump these many key ultimates into a round and end up going into overtime, could be a little bit tilty.
I'll find you.
Launch out for now, up over the top, and check towards Mounds. Nothing going to be spotted. Forsaken again, just playing the site solo with that Odin in hand. We're checking the B box. Lockdown now going to be invested. Looking to shove them back, but I mean, you see something. Mindfreak, they're actually inching their way forward. Paranoia going to be sent in, but Munchkin not going to be called by it. Ends up finding the kill. Lockdown now, getting ready to roll through. 1 more second remaining. They managed to back out. No one's going to be detained here. How smoothly can they try to retake? Boombot not getting cleared. It's drifting, in fact, over towards Texture. Finally manages to clear it out, trying to hold the door versus Monyet. Flush up against the wall. Devi looking to try to help comrade push through that position.
Killjoy Okay, raise.
The flash goes in. It turns from it. No, Monyet still able to get taken down. Lakia now trying to survive, trying to backpedal, but Karat swings in from main. From the side itself, I should say, to find the kill. Finds himself another one. Mind freaking Devi. The last one standing. You know where this guy is at? Now it's all on the Sultan trying to get it done. He finds his second kill, but cannot get the third. 13 to 11, Gen.G will narrowly close out their map pick of Lotus. They now move up to match point.
It's a good call after that timeout. In fact, just one step further, not going for the rush off the bat, but trying to figure out who's stationed over by Mount, who's there. They hear the Odin, and they immediately say this is our chance to go. And what a punish from Munchkin against something. Just the hard read that you know Paper Rex is a team that will try to push out from this rather than lose the site, because again, their composition and their playstyle just didn't cater for a retake onto that B site. It's a hard read from Munchkin, the IGL, and this time he's just one step ahead of Paper Rex.
Very nicely done here from Gen.G. Match point in their pocket. Paper Rex, though, can they reply to that next map of binds coming up? We're going to find out, but first the analyst desk will break down Lotus.
What a game. What a series. Gen.G comes back on Lotus, proving themselves in this rematch on this particular map against Paper Rex.
Yeah, I mean, I really like what I'm seeing from them on their attacker side. Their defender side looked a little bit strange, and a lot of that is just like losing holding angles. Like Texture so many times with the operator was just sitting there, and then, you know, something would just swing a corner and just take him out. And I mean the player, not just like randomness. Like, it's like literally just walking corners and just smacking Texture out of the way. So that their attacker side looked good, but it's always the concern with Paper Rex. Like their defender side is always a little bit shakier than their attacker side. And Gen.G is slightly better so far this year on their attacker side on Lotus than on their defender side. So it was just enough to get them over the line.
Definitely. I think the Reyna probably threw them in for a little bit of a loop. They probably prepped to redo Lotus, and the Reyna kind of threw them for a loop. So they're
A very nice retake in towards Tree, took down Lakia's Odin and everything. That just, you know, kind of brought them to that almost overtime. But by the end of it, I mean, you could still see how sharp, my goodness, these Gen.G players are.
Well,
Charon.
It really felt like both teams had a good read on each other's operator positions. Like neither side was having any success with the operator. So credit where credit's due. Both teams able to, in a short amount of time, kind of identify some weaknesses in their opponents, and that's why it's really so back and forth and why neither defender side was really able to get the ball rolling. And it's quite surprising that only 6 and 9 in the post plants is Gen.G, which means they're winning those scrappy duels in the Paper X like scrum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're just like trying to duke it out sometimes, and a lot Gen.G is coming out ahead. The post plant's something to be desired here in terms of fixing that for Gen.G, but like the fact that they're able to go toe to toe with Paper Rex like this in these just intense chaotic battles, you know, the blink and you miss it rounds, is super impressive.
I think that is going to be very indicative actually for the rest of the year. You know, even with kickoffs over, we still have our two splits. And Gen.G, the way they are dueling against Paper Rex right now, the firepower is, I would arguably equivalent here.
It actually does feel really pretty much equivalent, if not slightly higher, actually.
Yeah, well, they're
Paper
winning.
Rex.
Today, they're winning these duels.
Really, that's the wildest thing. I remember like round 20 off of Alex's timeout, still somehow, even with the retake ideas coming through, some of the swings that Paper X wanted to throw at Gen.G, players like Munchkin, the MVP for this series, was able to hold his own against Paper X. Like they would swing out really wide, really confidently trying to get the duel up against them. But the reaction time coming out for some of these Gen.G players, they were able to take them down. And it just feels as though, you know, Paper X needs something extra this time, and that's crazy.
It's hard to think about.
It is. I'm getting ahead of myself here, but I'm already thinking of Bind, and Bind was the 4th map of Champions too, and we're like, oh yeah, Paper X wins Bind, but then you look at Gen.G, and it's very much, actually in this order, it was Lotus and Bind, and yeah, I don't know how this is gonna go. You might be right with your predictions today, Paper Thin.
I did it.
Look,
all I know
Not
is
yet.
no matter what happens today, I'm beating Achilleos in the predictions.
You already won.
So I've already won. This season is over. Like, I've done it. Like, I'm already, like, popping the champagne. Like, we're good to go. No. I mean, like, I just think, like, what you're seeing here from Gen.G is right now they're just more of a complete package. You're still seeing Monyet really struggle on some of these maps on the Rays. I mean, 11 and 21 is really painful on a team that used to rely so much on excellent Rays play to really break open sites, to break open fights, to hit opponents in timings and flanks where they're not expecting it.
Think about that 1 HP clutch. I don't want to draw too many comparisons, but that's one of those plays that lives in your mind. You know, Jing coming up with a 1 HP clutch against EG or whatnot. But in this one, I mean, Monyet is kind of used differently. He has this different style of movement with the double blast packs, and he's kind of going in as a distraction, and then the rest of the team has to follow up, but sometimes that impact is not quite felt. There are times where Monyet is not quite able to hold a site by himself, but even if he dies, he gets information for the rest of the team to respond quickly. So when it comes down to it, drawing the comparisons now between two key players, it's Mindfreak and Munchkin, who Munchkin stepped up on this map. I mean, the Viper spit timings, the way that he positions himself, and Mindfreak, although he definitely tries in some of these like clutch situations, it's not the most successful. It's a different map.
We haven't seen him be what we're kind of used to with Mindfreak in some ways, and he's usually a pretty good big game player. Like he's a guy who steps up multiple times. Like the casters were talking about earlier at Copenhagen, you know, he was one of those players where everybody was like, "Whoa, this guy's amazing." You know, he's up and down sometimes, but he's been generally pretty consistent. I think this is more of a team thing right now. I feel like the cohesion's not quite there. Like the Paper X style just doesn't seem to quite be where it used to be in terms of that speed and that tenacity. Like you see it occasionally, round to round, but overall, like teams are able to handle it, and Gen.G in particular seems really good at anticipating the pressure. Munchkin's really good on First Bloods again. He's like 3-2 on this map, so he's still able to like kind of do his thing. The last thing I want to say is like in terms of other controllers is kalian, who was so good at like covering angles, holding flank angles, making sure that his teammates were covered. There's that one time at Baby Door where I'm just like watching Munchkin, and he's not even watching, like he knows there's a player coming. Like there was util coming, and kalian's holding the other angle after winning a fight in tree, so he's really aware.
He knows he can trust in his teammate. That's the thing, you know. kalian is able to find so many of these impactful frags, and the feeling is just security. And I think that one of the things is that also Paper X is now, they're so used to just kind of like aim dueling and really getting these confident big swings against their opponents. Very overwhelming stuff, especially with some of the chaotic utility that they throw into the game. But on a map like Lotus, especially a site like A site, for example, with the changes coming in, you know, you gotta really think about your routes. Tree is now like blocked off so much, and it's very difficult for some of these Paper X players to come in with these big swings and big plays.
Now we're gonna recap a little bit what's happened so far. We are going deep into the series, and I really think we're gonna see Breeze again between these two teams, which I'm very excited for. And I think you guys make a really good point. Earlier we were talking a bit about our predictions and Gen.G. I've said this a couple of times, while I really believe in them as much as Paper Thin does, I thought they would have needed more time to really pull together and see, you know, their top form. But maybe it's actually Paper X. They have amazing creative plays. You can see them cooking constantly with their ideas, with their team comms, but maybe you guys are right. Maybe they need actually more time to adjust to this new style with Monyet in the loop, because Jing is one of a kind.
Yes.
There is no other Jing in this world.
There's no other Monyet.
And there is, but Monyet too is fantastic. So the thing is, a lot of their plays in the past was circled around Jing's particular playstyle. So they just need to figure it out again. But that said, they're not a pushover.
No, absolutely not. Like, if you think Paper X is out of this, you are wrong. Like, there is no way, no way in hell that I think they're just going to go out with a whimper here on Bind. I would expect them, we have no idea what they're going to play. Like, that's the first thing that comes to my mind is, I can foresee a whole bunch of futures on this Bind map, and I don't think I'm going to be right about any of them. Like I could see something like Your Reina here, things like that could come through for them. I don't think Gen.G is going to change a damn thing. Like, there's no way. They haven't shown that they're willing to adapt. You know, we saw it on Split earlier. So certainly on this map, Gen.G is going to run what they normally run. What the heck is what the heck is Paper X going to do? Nobody knows. Gen.G doesn't know. Like, only Coach Alex knows. Like, he's the only one.
Haven't seen it since Chaps.
You can literally do a roulette of the agents.
Just like,
And then that's like
throw out a
favorite
dartboard.
top.
That's the
Like,
agent
really?
I want.
It could
In
be
the
like,
tail on the donkey. Just like,
yeah. It could be 5 duelists. Honestly, and we would be like, oh, okay, cool. Paper X is doing crazy things again.
Deadlock, let's go. ISO, you were kind of
I think this is a map for ISO. I think if there's ever a time that you're going to pull ISO out, I think it's a really good opportunity. I've seen some teams do this on Bind where they really isolate like the Sky player over at the long B side, and you can really punish them with some of the Deadlock utility, particularly the ultimate, when you can just take them out of the route. And that makes it so much easier to get into that B side, get the plant down, and utilize the natural advantages you have as an attacker post-plant on B side.
Do you think ISO would need to be paired up with another duelist, though? Or do you think he's like
Well,
pretty
it's Paper X,
good
so
as
they
a-
will, but...
That's very true. Now, let's talk about the first and the second map. That second map on Split was very dominant by Paper X. How do we think, like, yeah, we don't know what they're going to do with their comp now, but judging by how these first 3 maps have played out.
Judging by how the first 3 maps played out, I mean, first of all, you got to talk about Ascent and how much Gen.G adjusted. You know, they had the really aggressive texture. Karen, of course, still doing Karen things. But then that support coming in from a player like Munchkin, for example, the flash and dash that texture pulls off is all thanks to Munchkin's support. And they really knew how to aggressively take down Paper X, you know, fighting fire with fire, although they started out on defense. And I think that was one of the things that carried them over at the edge. And then once they swapped over onto attack, you know, they started to lurk. So Gen.G shows a lot of flexibility. I think that's one of the biggest things because they always adapt, they always change things up, and they have these like anti-execute, you know, positional plays when they start out on defense. We saw a bit of that on Lotus as well. Split was just a bit different because Paper X does Paper X things. You got that triple duelist of all things. How do you adjust to that?
Yeah, I actually want to talk about Bind yesterday. You were here yesterday, right?
I think so.
I've lost track.
Yeah. Was
You were
he?
casting yesterday with
I was,
the
yeah.
DRX game.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was, I mean, it was so intense because it felt like DRX kind of just had it done. Like, you know, Buzz was doing his thing on Yoru, everything seemed to be going well, Flashback was having some good moments, Stax had a few good moments even. Everything seemed to be kind of going the normal DRX way, and then all of a sudden, like you talked about earlier, Vic, like it's that one moment, that one clutch. I think it was Karen, right? Who had that one clutch, and then all of a sudden, all the momentum was gone for DRX. All their mentality seemed to just kind of leave them. Mako started kind of visibly having a hard time at his desk, and that completely shook them. And from there, it was just, you know, Gen.G has shown, again, tremendous mental resilience. That's my biggest takeaway from them so far, is that
Truly
even though this is, you know what's fascinating to me is this is a team with players who have kind of a reputation of maybe being tiltable, but it hasn't shown so far this year.
Yeah.
Not too much.
Actually,
we did see like texture start to like.
Well,
not crying,
he
but
is the
he's
one I'm talking about. He's
theatrical,
a
yeah.
little bit tiltable.
Yeah. Well, he looked a little upset, especially when his ace was taken away from him, but not fully tilted yet. But maybe this is why their off-cam chemistry is really important, the support that they have for each other. And, you know, when you have a tiltable player like Texture, when you have a support, like a team that's supporting you like this, maybe that's the missing piece. And we were talking about Munchkin. Munchkin was absolutely crucial. What I really liked in the last map is he started using his util again.
Yay! I was calling for it. Like, sometimes, I don't know what has gotten into some of our Viper players in Pacific this year where they're just not willing to use their Viper's Pit. And I'm not exactly sure what's going on, if they're just forgetting about it, if it's just so intense, they're just kind of like getting lost in the moment or something like that. But all right, here we go. The comps. Okay, Yoru, Raze, Gecko, Fade. This is basically like
What we saw with DRX.
yeah, similar to what DRX does, but not quite the same. It's so
Well,
like
there's a
obviously
second
the
duelist
Raze.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
True. So second duelist in the form of Monyet. Forsaken's Yoru, a little bit different from Buzz Yoru perhaps. But then again, you got to look at that double initiator. Devi on the Fade and something on the Gecko again.
This is so funny. We were just talking about the difference between the regions and how some seem to be more Sentinel heavy, and clearly here at Pacific,
We don't believe
especially Paper X. Look at them. They're just like, I don't want to use Sentinel.
I mean, they're the team that makes the most sense, really. Like, it's like they don't really play like they need one anyway, so whatever.
All right, we are going to go into our fourth map, Bind, and we know this is going to be a hot one. Let's go back to our casters, Achilles and William.
Thank you very much. Here we go. Bind for map number 4. We'll load up and see if Paper Rex can rally back on yet another one of their map picks. Extend this, or if this is going to be Gen.G walking away with a 3-1 scoreline to become champions here at kickoff.
Oh, that would be one heck of a storyline. What a bounce back for Gen.G as a team and all these players individually. But my eyes for now on this bind is onto that Paper Rex having just one controller. This is something that a lot of us talked about being such a weakness of the composition that Global Esports brought out at the very beginning of this tournament, saying, how are you going to play this map with a singular controller of Brimstone? Paper Rex says, well, we have our own ideas, this time putting in that Yoru alongside. So it really feels like triple initiator alongside the Rays. Now it's going to be a huge fight here for Shower's control.
Texture will define to something. Does take down the enemy Rays. As TP's now coming in around the back with Meteor holding in that cyber cage. Able to find one, toggles over onto the cam. Dart going through, swings back out. Devi now dropped something. The last one standing. Put some damage into Munchkin's. Princess sights back over to Showers, but Munchkin just re-aggro swings. Takes him down. Gen.G get the first pistol here on Bind.
And it starts to feel like the fans feel that they're close, that we're close to bringing that title back to Korea. But Paper Rex, they're no strangers to this. Had to play in front of a massive crowd last year against TRX at the Junction Stadium for the Pacific Finals, and they overcame it.
They reverse swept out.
Yeah. Nice! But of course, Texture feeling it too.
Kill them.
They're one step away. Now just a sheriff for Devi. Hasn't had as much of a blow-up performance as we're used to seeing from him.
Oh, on yet.
Greedy Orb.
Wanting to get this. And TP coming in to try to bail him out. Munchkin just one taps Forsaken as soon as the door is open. Good lord. Something trying to hold him here for the orb. Will be able to get locked, yeah? Nice reply fire from him. As Mind Freak and Devi going on a bit of a push forward here. Karan hanging very well back. Spots one, takes him down, saw the other. He's gonna re-swing aggressively, but Mind Freak does punish him for that. Weapon can be recovered. Sight taken, Texture not looking to try to guard things, needs to bring this spike forward.
Yeah, and considering that only we had 3 people buying up from Gen.G, this could actually be a bit of trouble and a lot more damage that Paper Rex can do. Now, of course, that does mean Gen.G can also buy up to match in the next round. But right now, Mind Freak has a good opportunity alongside something.
Launching smoke.
On the trap wire, something still making his way over.
One
The
enemy
setup,
remaining.
Texture looking to take those hopes and dreams away. Your Munchkin can also rotate over to try to grab that Bulldog. Here at the end of the round is something hearing. Toggle on the camera.
Dizzy's up top.
It's a trigger there, and Meteor just swings out behind the box. Catching him in the back. Gen.G, they lose 2 players, but widely, you know, some of the weapons recovered here. It's 2-0 start for them on Bind.
Yeah, great start. And a good read, too, that it could be the split just to try to take away more weapons. You know, having that Cypher utility set up across all the different ways that they could get taken out here on the retake. Wow.
Good.
Yeah, just keeping calm. They know they're close. Don't want to overheat just yet on the 4th map. They haven't won it till the very end.
Neural Theft nearly online already. Meteor just 1 charge off of that. It's Forsaken getting darted. Staying tucked for the time being.
Yeah, and we're seeing this a lot with the teams that are experimenting with Yoru, that, again, with the Sky gone, you know, not able to just constantly cycle through utility to check B long, you have to kind of invest 2 people there alongside the flashes. Now they've been pushed back.
What? Okay, Meteor. Neural Theft now online. Makeup goes rushing forward. Forsaken swinging out. Spraying does get quite a bit of connection there.
Doesn't have help.
But now, yeah, is getting flushed out. Quick turn on the flash. The Neural Theft going to be invested. Waiting to see if they can try to take him down. Karan able to find it in the end. Drops down on the top of Hookah on yet. So only finding one. Smoke dissipating. Karan just re-steadying the aim there. As Blast Pack
Last player standing.
sent forward. Molly out from something will be able to find the elimination, but now it's all on Money. He takes Meteor so low. Now the heals come in.
You have to save. You don't have anything to work with, and you're already going to be down 3-0. And not the start that Paper X was looking for on their pick of Bind. Haven't shown it this year. They've been known to be the leaders of the Yoru compositions on Bind. Really brought it forth for the entire world to see last year.
Just going to say tucked right alongside this trap wire. Doesn't want to give them any inkling in case they come for the hunt.
The crazy part is they know, right? Because of the double trap wire set up, but they're not going to risk anything further either. They want to snowball the lead as much as possible. Just being wary just in case. Maybe he had another blast pack left over. Did use to, I believe, onto that site, but not taking any chances for Gen.G.
Yeah, and that's a big one because, I mean, Lakia went into that with just the Ghost in hand. Carries over one of those rifles, so it's only one weapon lost for the side of Gen.G.
I mean, Meteor already has 5,000 creds banked up here.
It just hasn't died.
Yeah. Activated that first neural theft already.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, just going through the comms as well. It seems like that's what they talked about during this break, just saying, don't get overly excited. Let's just win and then celebrate. And they're only 10 rounds away.
Oh, Manya looking to up the pace, trying to catch somebody off guard there with that carryover rifle. Successfully backed away, though, is Gen.G. Now turning their sights once more over towards the B side. Trailblazer rushing forward, not catching a glimpse of Divide before he makes his way back over in towards Elbow. The walk down, the drop into the smoke and texture. He's taking him out. Spray as well, softening up Monyet. The paint shell does come through. Will interrupt the plant for now. Shifted around now within the tube.
Spike planted.
Thrash.
Okay, the check, and Meteor not getting caught by it. Swings around, will finally be felled, but not before finding Mind Freak. Scoreline continuing to build up for him. Forsaken trying to find something with the Sheriff in hand. Can't make it happen. It's now once again on to Monyet. But given that he was the one that saved, doesn't have the money built up, he's going to have to be the one that saves again.
So far, obviously, 2 rounds with some iffy purchases on the side of Paper X, but what we're really seeing here is Gen.G aware that that's going to be the setup that you often find with these Yoru defaults. It's a Yoru on B, trying to gate crash out somewhere else, maybe ready to take the TP just to throw a bit of a curveball. But oftentimes you're going to need some other support. So the Fade is there with him. They try to pressure it. They try to push it back into the site as fast as possible. Worst case comes if the TP comes through. Meteor's ready for it. He's watching for that teleport, for that showers control, so he's not giving it up for free. It's a strong default from Gen.G, and quite frankly, one that Paper X, as a defending team, has to figure out the answer to.
Yeah, Meteor's so clean so far here in this map. The movement there, dodging out on the Thrash into the Cyber Cage, being able to trade one before getting taken down. Dangerous signs for Paper X, which is why we see the timeout again being forced out very early on.
Yeah, and you're not even on the attacking side right now, so you can't even just say we're going to rush one site anymore. That's not going to work.
You can rush out of one site.
You could rush out of one site. We have seen that before for Paper X, and sometimes that's what catches them off guard, but I just feel like this map right now, Gen.G is ready for it. And the thing is obviously Gen.G showed one iteration of their bind yesterday against DRX, who also was running a Euro composition. So Paper X, they, not much time, but they had some data to go off of. And this time Gen.G is just saying, let's try to get a read on Paper X first. So let them make the first move. They're going to be antsy for it, and they would have identified that absolutely correctly.
We'll see what the call is going to be here after Alex's intervention. Operator does come through, being put into the hands of something now, which I don't have the updated stats right now, but coming into this map, even being down in the series and having Gen.G be at match point, Something's impact has been impeccable.
Yes.
Tied for top fragging alongside Charon, both of them dropping 50 kills so far in the series. They're 16 and 5 in first kills, first deaths.
Jeez.
The start of the value here, Something has been amazing, but Forsaken now trying to get it first kill of his own. Does so, but now Something pushing forward, trying to take that deep, hard angle outside of B. Just gets punished.
Yeah, and he just thinks because of the hard push that they're going to be holding further back away from Fountain, but Meteor's just up close.
Tell him, hey, this is how it feels. To be scoped in and instantly don't. Mind Freak, however,
Spike down B.
instantly finding 3. Extra answering 1 back, Monyet. We'll be able to finish him off. Fantastically done by Mindfreak. Hoping to bail them out, but yet another round loss keeps them alive, gets them on the board.
It's great to see Mindfreak performing as he has been this entire kickoff, because he's had some ups and downs throughout his career, obviously very storied alongside the rest of the PaperX squad. But when he's at his peak, he's so clean with it. And just the comparisons and the stories we're getting just from this finals alone, right? The controllers, Mindfreak and Charon, you mentioned it. Obviously, there's the fragging potential between Something and Charon. The duelists, of course, Texture, really trying to continue to be the top of the pack.
Okay.
Oh my!
Like ships passing in the night, but there's no reinforcement here from Mon yet. Orbital Strike just cutting off that access. So he gets isolated and taken down. We're about into the corner. Forsaken makes his way into the dimensional drift. See what he opts for here. As, okay, flash out, Showstopper sent towards heaven. Mask comes off, that's the fake out. Texture, not falling for it, but eventually just gets flushed out into the open. The kill comes in. Bagi as well, finding one. Forsaken with a nice tap, takes out Meteor. Munchkin Lockett, now the last one standing. Spot on the one. Mindfreak, heading across towards Showers.
They should know that he's trapped somewhere in Lamps. He saw a little bit more info coming out from that Prowler as well.
Not going for the teleporter play here. Is Mindfreak going to be creeping all the way around over towards short?
PaperX is playing this safe, and I don't mind that, but that could be what gives Gen.G this opportunity. They have all the time to explore the entire site and figure out a different exit.
All that time for Mindfreak to just go on a walkabout. Gets himself rotated around. Hearing the jump peeking. Izzy going out. Munchkin with a click clear. Don't need to be worried about potential wallbang coming through. Reads this very nicely, but Mindfreak nails the shot. PaperX picking up 2 in a row.
Well, if it's not going to be your crazy duelists that are putting the round wins on the board, someone's got to do it, and Mindfreak's here to answer the call. Barely bringing them back into this. Forsaken committing to that spray was good, and also the dimensional drift just to make sure they can't commit the plant. Then the orbital strike, and then the flash as well to try to trap some of them with that blinded vision within that Brimstone ultimate. I like the entire sequence of it, and it eventually leads to that round win that PaperX oh so desperately needed. Op still, of course, in the hands of Something as well.
Locked out. Lockett actually does swing. Getting marked by it there. Aaron just holding back to see if there's going to be another aggro push out from Something with his op.
But that does seem to be the adjustment that they've made since that timeout. Not pushing entirely out, not full W gaming, but they will force the hand a little bit. Make sure that these default setups for Gen.G can't stay the way they are. Getting the read that Gen.G's playing this offense like a defense. The classic Forsaken Yoru.
Blown out, jump peek. Not going to be spotting anything here. So for now, PaperX still trying to really get a read on what Gen.G's movement's going to look like. This does send Forsaken back over towards this A site. So 3-man stack there, but the operator still posted up from Something. They have to be ready for this. There's the dog to lead the way, and Texture off the back of it. Yeah, he does get shot through it. Manages to stay alive and lock it.
I know exactly.
Throw those heals out. Now another neural theft. Second one for Meteor so far here in the game. Coming down.
30 seconds
It's going to be a little bit of a bait and switch attempt here with the teleporters, but not yet, still hovering nearby. Shot sent on that entry. Tucks back in towards Lamps.
Monyet now stuck in Lamps. No one there to back him up just yet.
Just flying with it. It's actually Monyet finding a kill.
I've got
Count
your
going to be taken
trail.
down. Picture quick on that reply as
One
Meteor just
enemy remaining.
dancing around inside of the cyber cage, and as the kills come in, the cleanup will be there. 4 members still standing. Gen.G answering back with a 5th round win.
That's a really well-read round. A quick adjustment to PaperX. As soon as PaperX starts to pressure the initial default just a bit, Gen.G just cuts all audio, doesn't invest more util, creeps up to the starting line, which this time is a little bit further behind, but it's going to be that entry point into B long. They want to suss out this operator. They get it correctly, and that's what you get when you're not using something like the Raze or the Jet. You just have no escape. And Munchkin following those Seekers, leading him to victory.
Battle out.
Wide peek from Texture, just looking to get swung out by hearing a decent amount of noise.
My ult's ready.
Wisely decides to creep back. Just has a stinger, so at range, not going to be doing him too many favors, but Forsaken, what a shot!
Right above the Trailblazer.
Yeah, finding Texture's head, taking him down, eats a bit of damage here. I'm spamming through the cyber cage, trying to find the shot. Lockit will be able to get something. As Forsaken, still just trying to come up with the goods, can't do it. But Mind Freak continues to help deliver alongside Monette with a showstopper delivery. They will shut down the attack, and Paper Rex will keep things close.
It's an excellent setup from both Forsaken and Devi. Devi, of course, is backing out, holding the cross from elbow. But it's Forsaken who not only gets the first shot, but sends that fake gate crash early on and keeps him tied up, buys all the time for the backup to come in the form of showstopper.
Great re-entry from Monette.
Yeah.
There.
Beautiful. Finally getting a little bit of that shining moment as that raise. He's really been thrown into a couple islands here by Paper Rex. He's finding his footing, and it's a push out from Paper Rex.
Mosh
pit over the top, right off the rip here. As Forsaken goes rushing forward, managing to find one, but the trade back. It's even better for Gen.G, finding 2 kills. Trailblazer cleared out the volley to try to slow, but Meteor looking forward into showers. As soon as Mind Freak realizes it, he's already dead. 4 players alive here for Gen.G. Prowler scouting 1, and Monette was bouncing forward. The boom bomb will kill off Texture.
Take what's useful.
Meteor finding 3. Again, just 2 charges away from yet another neural theft as Gen.G lock in 6 rounds on this attacking half.
Now, again, looking at the composition, as crazy as single controller does sound for either side of Bind, you gotta imagine that all the projectiles they can throw on and execute benefits Paper Rex a little bit more for the attacking side. But all things considered, it does feel like Paper Rex is just not used to losing out on these trades. Yeah, they push out. They lose 2 people to 1. You've already invested a molly. You have to use a second one just to buy time. But after that, you have nothing to delay. Gen.G does not respect it. They just push through from both showers and a short.
I must wait a moment.
Quick clear on the cam. Dart not found, but looks like Gen.G not looking to waste any time. Teleporter going to be instantly taken here. So Meteor will be watching the back line. TP actually back over towards the defender spawn. Hot flash going to be sent out. Texture turned just enough to be able to regain his vision. He shuts it down. Buying something again. Pushing forward, but ultimately may have to just call for the save.
You know what's crazy is Texture anti-flashes away from that by looking down because it's the Euroflash bounced up on the pop flash and then flicks right back up.
You could have just stopped the sentence after saying Texture.
Yes, he is crazy. You are correct. Sometimes a little long-winded on my commentary. Oh, just impressive. This guy. Again, I can't help but emphasize the point that tournament of his life. And he's always been great.
Locky on the hunt attempt will be staved off. Texture just making sure there's no attempts at some ninja diffusery going on here. Make his way back out to safety here. Damn near flawless round for Gen.G. Now 7 rounds on this attack side. And I agree with you in regards to Paper Rex's comp likely having just, better legs under them going onto the attack, but eventually you do hit a point where it feels like it's the point of no return.
Yeah, and I think that's right here, right now. A little bit left to the ground and flicks right back up. Not surprised about this timeout. You want to get these last 2 rounds. And obviously, I mean, the 7-5 scoreline, is the halfway point as close as you can get without being a 50-50. But really, more than that, as you mentioned, you need something to hold your hope on. And it can't just be, we absolutely have to win the pistol. You need a little bit more than that, especially with a risky composition like this. Just the 1 Brimstone. I mean, that gets so tricky on when and where you use those smokes, because all 3 of those sky smokes have to find value.
Plenty to be said here from Alex. His last few seconds, getting ready to dwindle out. See what kind of impact he's going to be able to have and whether or not they can try to rescue the remainder of this half. Like you said, 7-5, given the composition, the setup here from Paper Rex. I'd say those are pretty decent odds for them. They need to be able to get these last 2. Showstopper pit available on the side of Gen.G. Yet another dimensional drift here for Forsaken.
See what value it brings. I feel like, sure, you get some tricky kills now and then already in this match. He's done it before on Split, but outside of the kills themselves, hasn't been that easy to find amazing value for space, as Gen.G's been fairly prepared for it.
Gate crash back over.
Thrash is ready.
Saken joining in. Now they hear that Trailblazer coming, and that's going to be the rotation as well. Mindfreak looks to make his way over to the side. Texture just disrespecting the poison damage. Since the Showstopper out at the fake, however, now is kind of going to be stuck within that smoke. Tries to push out, but Bagi able to find the kill. To get him down, the pin's going to be invested. Thrash jumping forward. Doesn't get the detain onto anybody. As the Seeker rushes in. Looks to just slow him up. Precision jump in the corner, however, catching Lakia with util in hand. Takes him down with the shorty. Draws down that Phantom. Finds another kill. Meteor now gone. Aaron forced to the other side. The tap onto the spike. The swing out. Munchkin gets through! But something will be able to clean him up.
Wow, Munchkin with the Clad too, and then something to answer right back as they line up through the tube. It could have been disaster. I didn't mind the idea to bait them out with the fake defuse, but lining up like that against someone like Munchkin and Charon, a risky endeavor.
I need to see that one back here. As Texture trying to find the value, hearing that Odin spamming through lab. Good covering fire from Devi.
Wingman's on defuse. One enemy remaining. Jimbit lo bhai, you can only Jimbit.
I mean,
something with those 2 kills in the back end. Whew. Bailing them out when it looked like it was going to be very painful. Hitbreaks now up to 4.
still have that dimensional drift as well. The Odin for the pressure.
Oh
no!
My God!
How does he win out against both?
Well, speaking of 4s, I believe that's the 4th year-old step for Meteor
Cage trigger.
in this half. Not the spot on a Mindfreak. Flash goes in. He swings around the box. Meteor now maybe looking for an ace. Some of the crowd start chanting it. Saken sprinting around, trying to identify the positions here of the Gen.G members. Odin in hand, just wants to start slow swinging onto the box. They double face him. Karen will be able to take him down. No ace to be found, but a 4K and a flawless round. I'm sure Meteor is more than happy with that. As Gen.G will start off bind 8-4 in the half.
Absolutely nasty double kill for Meteor to open that up. I'm not quite sure if that first shot from Paper X was intentional or not. It could have worked in their favor to try to bait out the swing. They had the double. They were already spread out. But Meteor, just too quick. I mean, he's not a stranger to having to swing out and win these impossible rounds, impossible fights. He is so used to fighting these 1vx situations.
Oh, that's a chin.
Yes.
He's frowning and smiling simultaneously.
Oh no, some of the Paper X fans perhaps kind of staring down the end of this match. It's not over just yet, but it is looking tough. And Paper X, here's the thing, is that forget, trying to defend the title of Pacific Kings, Champions of Pacific, but they've been here so many times, so close to try to lead and close out a match, and they just haven't been able to do it. As soon as they face an opponent that they thought they should beat, and they were challenged, they crumbled in the last leg of it.
Well, it all needs to begin right here. A monstrous run back ahead of them if they want to extend this into that 5th and final map of Breeze. For now, I mean, it's just been such a dominant showing. I mean, 12 rounds played, 5 deaths only for Meteor.
Wow.
Been impeccable for him.
Yeah, such a clean game for Meteor. As that Cypher, and what a pick against this composition and this team of Paper X. Another good example of how to just turn a crazy cracked duelist aimer into another stable role here.
See what Paper X want to do ultimately for now. Everybody very fanned out. Cypher util set up here on the A site, but Meteor still going to be playing over towards B. Seems like they're very much expecting that Paper X are going to end up going towards the site. As okay, Lakia, Pixel out of place spotted. Mindfreak sending a warning shot. Now the forces of Paper X start gathering up, getting ready to attack the A site.
Yeah, I mean, the A site, even the spy cam and everything set up for a retake. You see that deep tripwire. They just want to know if backside is taken or not. Munchkin will try to get some shots in.
He does.
Actually, a lot.
Oh, Spawn yet up on top of the box. Still wants to try to send down that bite. He's greeting for Red. And the thing comes in and he runs out of bullets. Munchkin able to win out. Goes for the reload. That's a pretty decent advantage here for the side of Gen.G, considering the damage already out onto something. Texture now swinging around from behind. Mindfreak tucked away, backing away from that smoke for the time being. As Meteor finding Forsaken. Swinging out to the side. Munchkin now coming up with another one, finishing the job that he started. Comes up with a kill. Meteor, however, getting distracted. A nice little tug of war coming through as Texture falls. Lockett, last one standing by, rushing forward, and he gets it. The half already finished, but either way, he had all the time in the world. Lockett, last one standing as Gen.G move up to 9.
It's such a good setup from Gen.G. Abusing the fact that Cypher, obviously global utility, sets it up in A, but not to delay. Even the toxic screen, it's not meant to delay, it's just meant to make sure that the retake is easier. I mean, they get the free gift of their early kill onto Monyet, but they had the trip set up, the spy cam set up to make sure that PaperX can't find a good post-plant position. Let's go! And Munchkin feels good about that. What a read, what a call from the IGL. And a good first kill. Shoves Mind Freak out into showers, and now PaperX, they can't. They're not going for the force. They want to go for the long haul.
Karan around the corner. There's the push in. There's one. There's the out with the judge.
The long range support from the Guardian as well.
Just looking to shut them out of this one. Tucks away. The Prowler coming through. Munchkin. He'll get himself a second. Karan gets the third. A flawless anti-eco. It's Gen.G now up to double digits. 3 rounds away from becoming the kings of the kickoff.
You play enough games on stage, and even a cracked gamer like Karen's going to be using the judge as well, getting the full Valorant experience. Playing like a cracked aimer, swinging out on those wide swings, sometimes playing like a Rat King, and he'll do it all.
Flawless.
I mean, what do you do as PaperX? You don't even have many chances here. Just finally the buy round, and you're already down 6 rounds.
Not many chances and no timeouts as well to work with. All of them having to be burned within those first 10 rounds.
Oh no.
Push out, the turn for the flash, but 2 kills now, 3 gonna be found. Some good answer back here, something, and Divide find one apiece. Divide now finding himself a second, but it's another blink and you miss it round between these 2 squads. Texture picks up a 3K with the Guardian, and Gen.G continue to strive towards the throne.
It's just as if that they have switched souls. This is how PaperX used to play. Absolute disrespect, knowing that you can win every duel. Look at just how confident Texture is. This man just does not lose this week.
It's like he's constantly playing with neural theft. He knows every single angle they're going to peek from.
I mean, this could be the start to just one heck of an insane year for Texture.
Prowler in, but Snakebite to delay. Paint shells, where those ones went. Full flash though onto Munchkin. The drop in, Lockett lurking. Outside Garden, managing to find one, something with the Guardian. However, able to get Texture, but now Meteor arrives. Forsaken, no HP. Karan.
Standing. 1 enemy
We're gonna shut it down. 7 health remaining. The rookie versus the bet, and the rookie missed all. The odds were stacked against him. Forsaken needed that one. Gen.G now at series point.
Gun here.
This squad is building something insane. I mean, obviously the year has just started, sure, but with the performances they've had throughout so many maps, having to play through so many matches, all going the full distance.
This goes here.
I don't think we can say that this is just a kickoff thing. I think they are building towards an absolute monstrous year. And if they get the 3 championship points right off the bat, going to Masters of Madrid at a higher seed.
One step forward, 1 step back. Things equalized. Forsaken gone. It's a lot of firepower taken away from the team.
Oh yeah, monster on the loose.
Thrash will lead the charge. Texture hanging back, trying to avoid detection. Orbital strike sent in from Karan, just delaying. Monyet up in front of it. Being decayed down lower and lower. Lamps the target here as Texture tries to make his way out the safety. He barely does. Flash from Lockya, the drag across, finds one. Munchkin swinging the corner, finds another. Mind freaking Monyet. Fight back. Now it's just down to Monyet and something. The TP is going to be used. Karan, the classic in hand. Surely not like this!
Gosh.
He finds one!
What in the world?
3 HP separating the 2 remaining players. A paint shell in the hands of Monyet. The boombot here for Texture.
Planted.
The plant comes down. Texture playing it patiently. But we can see Monyet tucking and swinging around through the elbow. And so far, Texture not getting a sense of this at all. But now he will turn his sights over. He spots him. He's got it done. 13-4. The players already on their feet. Texture will get the defuse as Arrest start the celebrations. Gen.G, they have controlled Chaos Incarnate. They have put a leash on Anarchy. And they are the kings of the Pacific kickoff.
Every single player on this team looking for redemption, and they helped lead Karon, the rookie, to a royal road in the VCT Pacific. This is a tournament run to go down in the history of VCT.
An unbelievable start to the season from Gen.G, from a team that struggled so much in the opening debut season of VCT Pacific. The 4-0 start into the cataclysmic fall to obscurity. They came into this season with many a question mark surrounding the roster, the decision making, the decision to pick up a player who had never even had the opportunity to prove himself in any capacity with Karon. And now he himself, this young gun, this rookie, in his debut on any stage, is a royal roader. Fist bumps abound between the two squads. Obviously, for Paper Rex, we still will be seeing more of them. They will be going over to Masters Madrid alongside Gen.G as their cohorts from VCT Pacific. But with a lot more pressure and a lot more doubt cast on them likely than ever before. Absolutely astounding here from Gen.G, and an incredibly well-deserved win. As the home crowd continues to go electric for them, but that will just about do it for myself here. It's been an absolute pleasure to guide you guys through these 4 maps. But I will get ready to hand it over to my co-caster, William, who's getting ready to take to the stage and talk to these players about this absolutely incredible feat of a victory that they have managed to pull off. Because this was not only just confident, but absolutely dominant from the side of Gen.G. Texture, Meteor, looking incredible the whole way throughout. The whole team putting up figures, but now I will pass it over to William. Take it away.
Gen.G! 킥오프 챔피언 Gen.G를 위해서 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. First up, we've got the rookie, Karon, holding the mic, ready, looking excited. We gotta hear, how does it feel to be a royal roader here in the VCT? 네, 먼저 카론 선수 벌써 마이크를 잡고 계신데요. 네. 와, 이번에 처음에 대회로 나오시면서 이제 로열 로더로서 Gen.G 선배 형님들과 함께 우승을 차지할 수 있는데 지금 기분이 어떠신가요?
기분이 일단 매우 좋습니다.
아, 너무 침착하신 거 아니세요?
아, 원래
지금 좀 너무 들뜨셔가지고. 알겠습니다. So Karon just say, I feel very good. And I asked him, aren't you just too calm? He's like, just the emotions, it's coming over me. Well, I just want to hear what it was like just growing up throughout this past week. 이번 이제 8일간 경기를 하면서 좀 얼만큼 본인이 성장을 하셨다고 느끼시나요?
일단은 처음에는 사실 좀 긴장되다 보니까 말도 안 나오고 좀 어버버 하다가 형들이 진짜 답답해가지고 그냥 야, 너 총만 쏴! 제발 총만 쏴! 이랬는데 약간 이제는 그 말 뜻을 이해를 하게 됐어요.
알겠습니다. So Karon just say, you know, in the beginning I said it before, but I like couldn't go in the comms. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. And all my teammates just said, just please shoot your damn gun. And then I think I finally get it now. I think I know why they were saying that. I think I'm catching on to playing at the pro level. Well, let's hear from the other players as well. Next, it's Lakia. We'd love to hear. 네네네. Okay, one more thing from Karon. 네네.
그러니까 제가 여기까지 오면서 도와준 형이 이제 좀 부탁한 게 있는데, 샤라우트 인파! 많이 이제 인파 형들 저를 도와주신 형이거든요. 그러니까 제가 여기에 아마추어부터 여기까지 오는 데까지의 도와준 형이어서 정말 너무 고마워가지고 얘기를 이걸 하고 싶었습니다.
아유, 네네. 아유, 너무 훌륭하십니다. 또 이것까지 기억해 주시고. So Karen just wanted to say one thing to a man who's been helping him all the way up to grow into a pro player, and it's Inpa. Some of you who've been following VCT Korea for a long time might remember him. He played in a couple teams in the very beginning, was on the cast a couple times on the Korean side, but a shout out to Inpa as well. Now let's hear from a.k.a, a man who is no stranger to the international stage, but it has been a long time coming. Let's hear his thoughts. a.k.a 선수, 물론 마드리드 행은 이제 어제 확정이 되었지만 이제 우승까지 차지하면서 다시 한번 정말 오랜만에 정상에 오르는 이 기분이 어떠신가요?
3년 만이네요. 이게 진짜 딱 3년 만인데 일단 너무나도 잘한다는 선수들과 같이 해서 이렇게 우승을 해서 너무나 기쁘고요. 그리고 이 퍼시픽에서 저희가 1등을 했다는 것에 대해서 너무나 감격스럽고, 그리고 진짜 지금까지 응원해 주셨던 팬분들에게 너무 감사하고 너무 행복합니다.
아, 네, 감사합니다. So it's been 3 years already, but I'm just happy that I could play alongside teammates that have always been so famous for being great players here in the VCT. And really, I'm just touched that we're able to come all the way to the top here at VCT Pacific. That was a.k.a, of course, part of this Gen.G squad that just won kickoff. And next, we want to hear from the duelist Texture. Now, this is a man, you heard it on the desk, they've been saying he's got to be one of the best duelists, one of the best. Now he's proven that he is the best duelist here in VCT Pacific. I want to know, Texture, do you have anything to tell all the other duelists out in the world? 텍스처 선수, 물론 한국 내에서는 항상 너무나 훌륭한 선수다, 너무나 훌륭한 타격대 선수다 이런 말이 있었지만 드디어 이제 퍼시픽에서 증명했습니다. 내가 퍼시픽 최고다. 그렇다면 마드리드를 향해서 전 세계에 있는 타격대 선수들을 향해서 혹시 해주실 말씀이 있으신가요?
그럼 기다리세요.
그냥 딱 기다리고만 있으면 되나요? 알겠습니다. Just wait right there. I'll be right there. All right, Texture, bring up the confidence. 텍스처 선수에게 한마디만 더 묻겠습니다. 텍스처 선수도 사실 뭐 정상급 선수다 이런 얘기가 많았지만 드디어 이렇게 많은 분들 앞에서 증명할 수 있는 지금의 소감은 어떠신가요?
뭐 어떻게 해야 될지도 모르겠는데 한 4년째죠. 4년째 동안 이제 우승이라는 것도 생각도 못 해보고 되게 힘들었었거든요. 근데 그래도 저는 이 게임이 너무 좋아서 계속 열심히 했었다가 그냥 일단 뭔가 4년 동안 배웠던 게 좀 이제 보상받은 느낌, 제 자신한테.
네, 정말
그래서 그냥 되게 기분이 좋습니다.
네, 너무 축하드립니다. 정말 고생이 많았던 텍스처 선수인 것 같습니다. So Texture just wanted to say, you know, it's been 4 long years, 4 years where I couldn't even dream about being a champion. And to be up here finally, you know, as a title holder, as the winners of Pacific Kickoff, I just can't believe it, and I just feel like all that time and hard work paid off, because for me, I've just been playing in VCT because I really love the game. Well, now all that love and passion paying off for Texture, heading to Masters Madrid, of course, as that higher seed here from VCT Pacific. Next, as we give a little bit of time for Texture, we want to hear from Munchkin, the IGL. Now, Munchkin, I have a hard-pointed question for you. You said in the Emerge video that you wanted to prove that the direction you want to take a team in is the correct way, that your vision was the correct way. Do you feel that that was proven enough today and this past week? 네, 이번 대회 준비하면서 그 이머지 비디오에서 영상에서 먼치킨 선수가 나는 증명하고 싶다. 내가 알고 있는 방향, 내가 믿고 있는 방향과 비전이 맞는 비전이다. 증명하고 싶다고 하셨었는데 이번 대회로 좀 증명이 됐다고 생각하시나요?
일단 제 방향성이 옳아서 정말 이겼다고 생각하진 않고요. 제 방향성을 좋게 이끌어주신 이제 감독 코치님들한테 너무 감사드리고 제가 좋은 선수가 될 수 있도록 항상 도와주시는 거에 감사합니다.
네, 또 겸손하시기까지도. 네. So Munchkin saying, I don't actually believe it was necessarily my direction and my beliefs, but more so our coaching staff who really believed in that and then actually molded me and that direction further into a title winning team. Well, thank you so much to Munchkin, and of course next it's Meteor. Another player who, had a little bit of taste of that international stage, but now on a different position. What is that like to try to go back to the top on a different age and different position? 네, 메테오 선수도 물론 탑까지 한번 올라가 보고 저희 국제 무대에도 나가 봤었지만 오랜만에 이제는 다른 포지션으로 또 진출을 하시면서 이 타이틀을 가져가셨습니다. 그런 변화를 통해서 또 한번 우승을 거머쥐는 기분은 어떠신가요?
일단 사실 이번 시즌에 젠지가 저 혼자로 시작을 했는데 이렇게 영광스럽게 또 우승까지 했고 지금 제 옆에 있는 동료들이 너무 자랑스럽고 그리고 항상 뒤에서 응원해주시는 팬분들 그리고 제 가족 이제 부모님과 제 동생 텐텐 그리고 여름이까지 항상 너무 고맙다고 전해주고 싶고요. 마드리드까지 가서 이제 좋은 성적을 낼 수 있도록 더 열심히 노력하겠습니다.
네, 감사합니다. So first of all, obviously I was the lone remaining member of Gen.G, and to come into this together with a new team and to win again, it feels great. I want to thank obviously everyone on the team, the coaching staff, but also my family, my parents, my brother, and the entire family as well, in really helping cheer for us all the way here, and of course all the fans who have been cheering for us all from behind. Well, now let's move on to the coaching staff. And HSK, a man of mystery for a lot of our global fans, but surely a man of a bit of a history himself here in Asia and Korea. I want to ask, as someone who, didn't have much to prove and to say to your name starting last year as a coach in VCT Pacific, what was the pressure like, and do you feel like you finally overcame it by taking this first title? 네, HSK 코치님, 작년부터 이제 코칭 스태프로 다시 돌아와 주셨는데 사실 성적이 그렇게 좋진 않았습니다. 그래서 부담이 많으셨을 것 같은데 이번에 준비 과정에서 부담은 좀 어떠셨는지, 그리고 이제는 좀 그 부담을 떨쳐낼 수 있는 자신감이 생기셨는지 궁금합니다.
사실 부담감은 조금 있었는데 저희 선수들 한 명 한 명 찾으면서 진짜 다들 너무 잘해가지고 생각보다 부담은 빨리 떨쳤는데 그 약간 어딘가 모를 걱정이 조금 있었는데 솔로 형이 오고 나서 이제 약간 팀적으로 확실히 하나가 됐다? 이런 게 느껴지고 나서부터는 진짜 어느 매치를 해도 지지 않을 것 같은 이런 생각이 들었고 이번 대회를 통해서 더 확실히 느끼게 된 것 같습니다.
네, 알겠습니다. So yeah, there was some pressure, but not too much, to be very honest. However, I felt like there was just something missing as we were preparing during the off season, because we knew we had all the right players, we knew the individuals were good. However, once we got Solo to join us as the head coach, that's when I felt we came together as a team, the complete package was there, and I started to feel we just can't lose a match. And now, having gone through kickoff, I firmly believe we've really reached that perfect four. Well, last but not least, our head coach Solo, of course, a long time coming. And I just want to ask, now returning to the international stage, but with some players who have never been there, traveling internationally for a VCT tournament, what are your expectations and what do you want to tell your players who have helped come all the way here to the top? 네, 솔로 감독님, 이제 오랜만에 다시 국제 무대로 우승팀으로서 진출을 하시는데 사실 몇몇 선수들은 국제 무대 경험이 아직 없으십니다. 그래서 그런 부분에 대해서 좀 어떤 기대감 또는 선수분들께 좀 어떤 말을 이 자리를 통해서 전하시고 싶은지, 또 이 자리까지 함께 올라올 수 있었던 선수들한테 한마디 부탁드리겠습니다.
일단 선수들이 너무 잘해줘서 우승해서 기분이 좋고, 저는 퍼시픽도 세계대회라고 생각을 하기 때문에 충분히 적응은 다 했다고 생각을 하고 있고요. 마드리드 가서도 저희가 부족한 맵들 그리고 부족한 부분들을 보완해가지고 최대한 좋은 성적 내도록 열심히 해보겠습니다.
네, 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. So Solo just wants to say he considers Pacific an international tournament as well. So he thinks the experience has now been stored up for the entire team, and they just have to work on a couple more maps, a couple more parts that they can brush up on the weaknesses, and they'll try to show the best results that Gen.G can bring home. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is your champion team here at VCT Pacific Kickoff, which does mean that they get the 3 championship points early on in the year to kick things off, all the way heading to champions here in Seoul, and of course, the higher seed for Masters Madrid as well. 네, 다시 한번 저희 킥오프 챔피언 팀 젠지입니다. 이렇게 해서 젠지는 올해의 시작을 챔피언십 포인트 3점을 먼저 가져가면서 챔피언스를 향한 첫 걸음을 딛게 되고요. 또한 마스터즈 마드리드를 향해서 이제 저희 위의 시드권을 가지고 갈 수 있습니다. 네, 아직 여기가 끝이 아닙니다. 네, 저희 MVP도 선정을 해야겠죠. So next, it's our MVP of the VCT Pacific Kickoff. And ladies and gentlemen, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? 네, 이번 MVP는 바로 카론 선수입니다. Congratulations, Karon, the rookie, coming in as the MVP of Pacific Kickoff. This means that he will be the MVP who will be able to give out 2 giveaways to our fans. It's going to be the Pulsar giveaway, the Pulsar MVP of reward, where we will have 2 Pulsar mice that Karon will be signing, and you'll have a chance to earn Karon's signed mouse as well. Before we go on with that, we want to hear just one more word from Karon. 네, 카론 선수와 MVP로서 또 한 마디만 더 같이 나누겠습니다. 이 마이크로 같이 하겠습니다. So I just want to ask, okay, we heard how it was as, you know, a rookie of Royal Rotor. What's it feel like to be the best player right now in Pacific? 네, 저희가 뭐 우승팀, 뭐 루키, 로열 로더 다 얘기를 나눴는데 이제는 확정이 됐습니다. 퍼시픽에서 내가 최고다. 기분이 어떠신가요?
좀 믿기지가 좀 않는데 저는 저 말고 이제 팀이랑 다 같이 잘한 거라 생각을 하거든요. 그래가지고 좋네요.
So Karon just saying, I just can't believe it because I really feel like it was a team effort. It wasn't just me. But I just want to say, you know, anything that he wants to say to our fans, not just here, but surely worldwide now as well. 그러면 마지막 기회로 저희 혹시 현장에 계신 팬분들 외에도 지금 전 세계적으로 카론 선수를 향한 관심이 굉장히 많아지고 있거든요. 그래서 전 세계 많은 그 팬분들께도 사인하시기 전에 전 세계 많은 팬분들께도 한마디만 더 부탁드리겠습니다.
일단은 팬분들에게 팬분들의 응원 덕에 이긴 게 아닌지, 왜냐면은 계속 응원을 해주시고 무엇보다도 응원을 해주는 걸 보니까 더 열심히 하겠다는 생각이 들고, 그러다 보니까 이 자리까지 더 최선을 다해서 그렇게 살아온 것 같습니다. 한데 더 최선을 다해야죠. 더 제가 원하는 목표를 이루기 위해 더 열심히 해야죠.
So I just want to say, I think it's probably thanks to the fans that I'm able to get here, that they helped me reach the best that I can show. But I think there's more. I always have to strive for more. I want to show even better performances. So once again, a big round of applause for your MVP of VCT Pacific Kickoff. It's Karon. 저희 카론 선수 MVP를 위해서 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드리겠습니다. 이렇게 해서 카론 선수는 이 펄서 마우스 2개의 사인을 직접 현장에서 해주시면 저희 이 마우스를 저희 팬분들께 저희가 드리도록 하겠습니다. 이 마우스를 받고 싶으신 분들은 아마 현장에도 많이 계실 것 같은데요. 집에서 보시는 분들도 저희 펄사 페이스북 또는 공식 X 페이지에 가시면 기버웨이에 참여하시는 방법이 적혀 있습니다. 많은 관심 부탁드리겠습니다. So for everyone, as Karon tries to figure out where to sign, if you want a chance at winning Karon's own signed mouse here as the Pulsar giveaway as the MVP winner of VCT Pacific Kickoff, you can check out the official Pulsar Facebook and X pages on how to enter the giveaway. All right, so 2 mice, 2 lucky winners. Make sure you check that out. And if you're the lucky winner, you will get Karon, the MVP of VCT Pacific's own signed mouse. 이렇게 해서 마우스 2개가 저희 팬분들을 위해서 준비가 됐습니다. 이렇게 저희는 이제 VCT 퍼시픽 킥오프가 마무리를 하게 되었습니다. So once again, this is going to be the end of VCT Pacific Kickoff. But of course, we're not done with VCT. We're just starting. Masters Madrid is around the corner. It starts on March 14th all the way to the 24th for 10 days. Where we'll see the best teams around the world from VCT compete against each other, including Gen.G, the champions, going as the higher seed from Pacific Kickoff. That's going to be it from us for here, and we'll see you next time. 이렇게 해서 저희 퍼시픽 킥오프는 마무리를 짓고 저희는 3월 14일부터 24일 마스터즈 마드리드에서 다시 한번 뵙겠습니다. 거기서 저희 우승팀 Gen.G 저희 마무리하기 전에 솔로 감독님
한마디만
one more from Solo as well.
저희 일단 팀원들 너무 고생했고, 그리고 저희 훌륭한 혜성이 코치 너무 고생 많이 했고 도와줘서 너무 고맙고, 그리고 저희 젠지 대표님, 단장님, 폴님, 에릭님 너무 감사합니다. 그리고 마지막으로 젠지 응원해주시는 팬분들 너무 감사합니다. 감사합니다.
Yeah, just a thank you from Gen.G, not only to the players, but of course the entire staff at Gen.G as well, including Paul, Eric, everyone on the management staff, everyone at the head of Gen.G, and most of all to the fans of Gen.G. What a team to help represent Pacific alongside, of course, PaperX, the fellow finalists. Well, that's going to be the wrap up. Once again, I'll give up the stage to our champions of Pacific Kickoff, and we'll see you at Masters of Madrid on March 14th. 이렇게 해서 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드리면서 이번 무대는 젠지와 함께하며 마무리를 하겠습니다. 3월 14일 날 마스터스 마드리드에서 뵙겠습니다.
Just believe it, they can happen. Never doubt it, 'cause you got this. Hey, it's alright. We can shout it, 'cause we own it. We can be whatever we want. One enemy remaining. One
Hey guys, a.k.a Rex. Sampai sini dulu live stream kita hari ini. Nanti kita ketemu lagi di live stream selanjutnya. I'll see you again.